The Pirates are hoping that Matt Alexander's barbering skills will be just what the doctor ordered, to scalp the Braves and go into the All-Star break on a winning note. KDKA TV2 presents Pirate Baseball 79. This evening from Atlanta Stadium, the Bucks meet the Braves. Pirate Baseball 79 is brought to you in part by light beer from Miller. Everything you always wanted in a beer and less. And in part by Wendy's old-fashioned hamburgers, where the hamburgers are hot and juicy. Messages promoting attendance at Pirate games are paid for by the Pittsburgh Athletic Company, Incorporated. Hello again, everybody. Milo Hamilton along with Nelson Briles, and of course Lanny Fratteri comes along in the middle to join Nellie. And as we go to the game tonight, I guess if we can get one big note, not only out of the win last night, Nellie, the fact that Candy went all the way, so Bibby knows he can go right out there and do it the way he does it best, go after him. There's a lot of people ready to come in and help.
Well, that's Jim's program tonight. He has to go out and give it all he has every inning. There's no reason to pace himself tonight. We've got a lot of guys in a bullpen that can help him. It's one of those few times during the season where you can let everybody pitch and get the work. So we're in a pretty good situation pitching-wise. We're looking forward to a big game.
And, of course, fellows like Keeson and Blyleven, who will be starting right after the break, you wouldn't even care if they pitched an inning or two tonight if they had to.
Well, they would have to throw tonight anyway. So if we have to use them in a ball game, so much the better. They just get that little bit of experience tonight.
All right, we've got the bibs ready for Eddie Solomon. They're very similar, hard-throwing right-handers. We'll check the lineups that go with them right after this message.
You don't move mountains, you go through them. And all it takes to carve a tunnel out of a mile of hard rock is steel and sweat and dynamite. Now comes Miller time. Time to head for the best-tasting beer you can find, Miller High Life.
If you've got the time, we've got the beer. Miller Beer.
Miller Beer. Oh, the joys of a family dinner at Wendy's.
Hot and juicy, hot and juicy.
At Wendy's, the hamburgers have lots of meat and lots of your favorite toppings.
Hot and juicy, hot and juicy, hot and juicy.
The food's dinner quality, like Grandma used to serve.
Giant Eagle Home Run Sweepstakes, Box 222, Pittsburgh 15230. And during this evening's game, we'll have 3 Giant Eagle Home Run Sweepstakes innings. The jackpot is now $1,500, so you stay with us for all the Home Run Sweepstakes excitement. Let's take a look at the lineups that go with Bibby and Solomon. First of all, for the visiting Bucks, Omar Moreno leads it off and plays center. Tim Foley plays short and bats second. The 3-hitter is the right fielder, Dave Parker, leaving right after the game to go to the All-Star game. Willie Stargell, the captain, back in there today, playing first and batting cleanup. Bill Robinson in left, batting fifth. Bill Madlock is batting sixth this evening and playing third base. Ed Ott will do the catching again and bat seventh. Rennie Stennett is batting eighth and playing second. And Jim Bibby on the mound. His record is 4-2. Braves have taken the field now, and color guard is already on the field. Umpires are in place. The bleacher creature is at home plate, so that means everybody's about ready. And the crowd is up here. And they will join in the singing of our national anthem.
Through the
let's take a look at the defense behind Eddie Solomon as he gets ready to warm it up on the mound. They've made some changes tonight. That is not one of them. Bob Horner, number 5 at first base. 17 is Glenn Hubbard at second. Shortstop, number 9, Pepe Frias. Jerry Royster, number 1, third base. In the Atlanta outfield tonight, number 7, Jeff Burrows in left. Here comes a change now for the center field spot. Tonight it'll be number 22, Roland Office. Over in right field, their member of the All-Star team, and there he is. He had just been trotting out of the dugout. That's Gary Matthews. Better late than never. Behind the plate, it changed. Joe Nolan, number 11, will do the catching. And on the mound, Eddie Solomon, record of 4 and 5, but the Bucks can tell you he can throw. And the big response now is the fact that Whitey Ford and Mickey Mantle, the Gold Dust twins of the great Yankee days, and both in the Hall of Fame, are here tonight representing a commercial effort, and they're going to throw out the opening pitch. There they are. They've had some fun together on and off the field. And I think Whitey wants to go to the mound. He doesn't want to fool around with throwing one from the side. He wants to get out there where he can show people he can still do it, Nellie.
Boy, I tell you, he really looks good. After his heart attack and a lot of physical problems, it's good to see the color in his face and back on the mound once again.
10-1, it was a spitter.
Or a mud ball. He loved the mud ball.
Yeah, boy, oh boy. Games I did when they were playing, when I was in the American League, and boy, they were awesome. Whitey was just one of those little guys that if you had a game to bet the mortgage on, you almost wanted him to be the pitcher.
Not only him, but you wanted Louis Arroyo ready to come in from the bullpen. He had the screwball. Between the mud ball and the screwball, they had it all together.
And you can't help but wonder when you think about Mickey Mantle, what he might have done if he'd have had any kind of health the last, 6 years that he played. They wrapped him like a mummy. There was sometimes they helped him out of his car in the parking lot. Got him to the clubhouse, gave him all his Whirlpool treatments, then wrapped him from head to toe. Then he'd get out on that field and give you a burst. You'd think he was as good as new, but boy, every time he did it, it took its toll. And it's great to see. 2 Hall of Famers here, Whitey Ford and Mickey Mantle. All right, now we'll talk about Solomon a little. Now that those 2 celebrities have left the field, they surprised everybody because nobody knew they were here. I found out about it about 30 minutes ago, and so I was prepped for it a little bit. Look out, Atlanta. They're here. Eddie Solomon, there are coaches. Number 42, that's Al Monchek at first. Then over at third, number 32, Joe Launette. All right, we're ready to go. Omar Moreno with 5 hits in this series. And the first pitch, excuse me, bouncer to third. Didn't mean to swing at all. The ball hit his bat. He is out third to first. Jerry Royster to Bob Horner. So Moreno, who's having the good series, he'd like to have another swing on the house rather than that kind of a swing. He came in tonight hitting .303, number 2 on the club. Of course, he had a home run last night to give him 6 for the year. Next time he gets one, that'll tie his career record. I got a feeling he's going to have his best year in every department, Nelson.
Well, it's good to see that he's spraying the ball around, but also when he gets a pitch, he'll crank it for power. That keeps everybody honest.
A strike call to Tim Foley. Foley batting .280 for the year, 32 runs batted in. In this series, Tim has gone 3 for 9, 2 ribbies. There's the big right-hander from nearby Warner Robins. He went into the Dodger organization at first. There's a high pop into shallow right. It's the right fielder's play to make. That's Matthews. The center fielder and the right fielder, and certain balls hit to left where the sun is coming through the upper deck, will be a little tough here in the first 2 innings.
Well, the half an hour here makes a little bit of difference, and they're going to have to back one another up and go over the ball each time, because if you lose it, there's no one around to help you. So they're going to have to concentrate quite a bit in that outfield.
Getting a couple of hits last night, the Cobra moved up to .298, 16 homers, 54 runs batted in, and we wish him well in the All-Star game.
He'll love hitting in that ballpark, Milo. That's a small ballpark. Only 356 to the power alleys and 316 down the lines. He'll love it.
He may try to get traded. That ball just kept going and down. Parker, 2 for 8 in this series. He's hitting .269 against Atlanta this year. Batting here with nobody on and 2 away. Solomon is capable of throwing a heck of a game at you. He did against us earlier this year. Oh, and he comes over the top and lets it just go down. It's like a ski slope, isn't it? He just...
He's got a pretty good delivery. Nice and deliberate right now. Over the top. Looks like he pops the ball pretty well.
Bouncer right at Horner. Going to flip to the pitcher. That's a 3-1, and it's 3 up and 3 down. So we played a half an inning. The visiting Buccos go down 1-2-3. The homestanding Braves are just now coming into bat. Jim Bibby out on the mound with a record of 4-2. And we're going to look at the defense behind him tonight, starting first with number 8, Captain Willie Stargell. Number 6, Rennie Stennett playing second. Number 10, Tim Foley playing shortstop. Bill Madlock, number 5 at third. In our outfield tonight, 28, Bill Robinson in left. 18, Omar Moreno in center. And the right fielder, 39, Dave Parker. Doing the catching, as he has on almost all of this trip, Ed Ott. Probably the most catching he's done in a period of time all year, and that's Jim Bibby. Bibby with a 4.2 record, ERA 3.07. His 19th appearance, his 4th start, his 2nd on this trip. First base coach Tommy Aaron, and there's Alex Stramus, number 8, the coach at third. Jim Bibby will be looking at Jerry Royster as a leadoff batter. Then it'll be Gary Matthews, followed by Roland Office. Right now, with Bibby's height, also we could have mentioned it for Solomon also, but with that sun where it is on the upper half of that body, Nelson, that ball might be a little tough to pick up.
Well, I think so. For a shorter pitcher like myself, it wouldn't have mattered at all. But for the big fellas, they might have a little advantage for a few innings.
You could have worn your elevators.
Elevated spikes.
All right, ball 1, no strikes. Royster coming in 0 for 8 in this series against the league, hitting .271. He has 30 RBIs. There's a shot up the middle and a base hit for Royster, his first of the series. So Royster is on. He just wrapped one right back up the middle. That's going to bring up Matthews with an 8-game hitting streak, 2 for 8 in this series, 1 RBI. He will go to the All-Star game leading their club. He comes in tonight hitting .304, 19 homers, 58 runs batted in. Matthews has played 35 more games this year than Horner, but Horner's sneaking up on him. Only 2 homers behind and only 11 RBIs behind. And they're going to get Big Murphy back soon. And when he got hurt after the first 39 games, he already had 13 homers and had driven in 37 runs. That's some bat to lose. All right, you got their leading base stealer on at first. Royster leads them in that department with 13. Throw over that way, doesn't get him. Stargell holding against him. Series even, game apiece. They won the opener big. We won last night with the Candyman. Runner going. Ott's throw down will be late. Also went off the top of Foley's glove. Stolen base. And get another look.
Well, that came out and tried to make a good throw. The ball was up just a little bit. If it had been down, we might have had a shot at it, but Timmy tried to throw a quick tag on him and just didn't get the ball. But it was a gamble play.
And it was worth it because he wasn't going to get him without it.
That's right.
All right, Bibby getting another new baseball from the plate umpire. Montreal beat San Diego 4-0. The Phillies put it on the Dodgers again, 10-3. Going to be a long trip to the West Coast for the Dodgers.
That Dodger blue might be very blue.
Hit his bat, cost him a strike. They got to be getting close. That puts him 21 under 500. That is really something, isn't it? You can't even imagine it, even though you know they've been playing badly. You just can't believe they've gone that far south. All right, the ball makes it 1-2 here to Matthews. Roland Office will be next. Royster started the inning with a base hit up the middle, promptly stole second base. And there's Jerry Royster taking his lead. Looking from center, and you'll get all the personnel on this play, although Royster's about ready to slip out of your picture, and he just did. Two balls, two strikes. When we got to Houston the other night, we needed a big game out of Bibby, and boy, he gave it to us.
That's the type of game you like to see Jim pitch. He was very consistent, challenged the hitters, and didn't try to be too cute or finesse anyone. He just went at him.
Runner in scoring position for Atlanta right off the bat here. There's nobody out. Turning, but no throw. And why is there to hang on to it? Don't put that ball in the air if you really don't have a shot.
That particular move was just to let Royster know that we're thinking about him. Don't get off too far. They really didn't have the full pickoff play on.
Matthews waiting now with a 2-2 count on him. Oh, he went upstairs for that one, didn't he?
He got away with a pitch right there, and that's why you could see Bibby hang his head just a little bit. That was a high slider that backed up just a little bit. A dangerous pitch, but happened to be in the right spot.
All right, that's going to bring up Roland Office, not only for his first at-bat in this series, but his first this year officially. He did bat once earlier against us in the season and walked. Roland Office batting .273, 2 homers, and 24 runs batted in. Office has been one of those players that always looked like he was going to blossom, but never did to the potential that I'm sure they hope. Now, he's only stolen 3 bases this year, and this guy has excellent speed. Here's one of the cases. That's a strike on a delayed call. Office looking back. He didn't believe it either. 0-1. It just goes to show you that speed isn't the only ingredient if you're going to be a successful base stealer. For instance, if he and Phil Garner or Bill Robinson were to run a foot race, who do you think would win big? This guy. Oh, he popped some leather with that one, didn't he? 1-1.
The Braves would certainly like for Office to hit a lot more because he's by far their best defensive outfielder that they have.
All right, there's Bibbs looking in, and that's the runner behind him, Jerry Royster. There's one away. He struck out Matthews. Now they get the play on again. Still didn't really have the timing there, though, did they?
Well, he threw the ball that time, but when they really have the pickoff play on and they're really serious about it, the pitcher's going to wheel and fire the ball. Really try to get that split-second timing where Philly has a chance to drop the tag on it for the runner.
1 ball, 1 strike. Office batting. Horner will be next. First inning. A high chop that'll be very tough. No, it's going to bounce a Baltimore chop off of a concrete infield. Throw to second base, and he got in. That's a double and an RBI. Office getting his 24th RBI, his 9th double, and he just beat it into the dirt.
Well, there's nothing anyone can do about this type of a hit. It hits on this concrete infield, bounces clear over the third baseman's head into the outfield. Royster scores easily, and Office alertly hustling on the play makes second base.
All right, another runner in scoring position right there. Roland Office, who picked up his 9th double of the year and got his 25th run batted in. They are in front 1-0 against Bibby, and here is Horner, who's had 3 hits in this series. They've all cleared the barrier. 17 homers, 47 runs batted in. Has missed 35 of their games in the early part of the year. Goes after a breaking ball and comes up empty. Horner batting. Office second. 1 out, a run in. Burroughs will be next. Roland Office taking his lead at second base. Still like a greyhound. He's got to be able to run. Fouled off. It's only been a little while since that sun had been beating down on this infield all day, and boy, you hit a ball into it like Office did, and it's just going to take the old Baltimore chop. So Jim Bibby rocking a little here in the first inning. He's given up a couple of hits. There's been a stolen base, and he's fallen behind in the game 1-0. Yeah, if you're going to go after Mr. Horner, just put a bend in it.
That was just an excellent pitch. That was a slider low and away. They'd worked him pretty well. That's right where Jim Bibby wants to keep that slider tonight. Not the place that they had it on Matthews, but right there on Horner. they want to work him in and out and make him hit the breaking ball if they can.
Jeff Burroughs, who was a big man in the opener Friday night, hit a grand slam. He's 2 for 7 in the series, hitting .224 against the league. 10 homers, 39 runs batted in. He got rid of that professorship beard that we talked about the last time we saw him. Dangerous hitter in this park. Ball 1. Don't take him on the golf course unless you have a full knowledge of what the game is and what he's going to shoot. Don't let him ask you for any strokes. He doesn't need any. He's about a scratch, isn't he?
He is definitely a scratch hitter, and he hits the ball 300 yards plus.
Fouled off. Boy, there was good location there.
It was. You want to throw Jeff Burroughs hard stuff right in on his hands. He's a good low ball hitter and likes the ball out over the plate.
Get the ball out, and he'll do with it just what he did Friday night, too. He's got enough strength to take it to the opposite field and get it out of here. 1 ball, 1 strike. 2 away, a run in. Jennings a little late. The Bucks were up and down in order for Solomon. Braves giving Bibby a little trouble in this inning, leading 1-0. Well, we gave him a breaking ball, too, and he fouled it off. And it's 1 ball, 2 strikes on Burroughs. Joe Nolan, the catcher. Our first look at him in the series. He would be next. That's Roland Office, retracing his steps to second base. Phillies really made it a long weekend for the Dodgers, didn't they? Scored a lot of runs against them. Got a 10 more today. All right, now Bibby will check that runner at second, looking right back at you. 2-2. That was the kind of a pitch that Horner chased, but Burroughs let it go by. Maybe a little difference in the experience.
He dropped down a little bit, too, with that breaking ball, and was just, I think, showing it to him. Now I think he's going to come back with some hard stuff on his fist.
2-2 with 2 down. Third and final game of the series. Next Sunday, we will have played a doubleheader with these fellas. There's Office at second. And then Monday night, just for good measure, we play another doubleheader with them. No. Went with the breaking ball again. 3-2. Bibby just stepping back to regroup a little bit. He doesn't want to make a mistake on this guy because if he does, he falls behind by 2 more.
Well, they probably are thinking of the base open at first base, too. You don't have to give in to Burroughs right here, and that might have been why they went with a breaking ball at that particular point.
All right, let's see what he does with a 3-2 here with Office at second and 2 down. Hey, that wasn't a bad pitch. Ott and Bibby, I think, thought they had him. Might have been up a little, huh?
Doug Harvey doesn't have the biggest strike zone, the home plate umpire, but he's very consistent with his strike zone. It's small, but if you throw it there, he'll give it to you.
So he ends up walking Burroughs. Now he's going to look at a left-hand batting catcher, Joe Nolan, who's been doing a better job for them lately. He's going to come in tonight batting .287, 4 homers, and 12 runs batted in. Two on and 2 down. There have been 2 hits in the inning, and the Braves have scored a run. Yeah, good breaking pitch there. Got excellent speed at second, not much at first. Office at second, Burroughs at first, 2 away. Oh, he came right back with another one. That's the way to get that left-hand hitter in a hole.
They're not going to mess around right here. They want to go get him. They don't have really anywhere to put him. Got a right-handed hitter up next, but they want to try and get him and make the young guy prove that he can hit that breaking pitch.
No balls, 2 strikes. Benedict out the first 2 games. Now you saw the runners leading at second and first. Jim Bibby. Let's see what he selects for the 0-2 if he wastes it. Yeah, he did, and it got by, and it's going to move 2 runners up. The way Ott reacted, you almost have a little wonderment as if he crossed him up. Ott didn't look like he was prepared for that ball in there.
Well, we're going to see the ball is down, and he really didn't get down to block the ball. More or less one-handed it, and I think he was fooled a little bit by the pitch, because normally Ed Ott will block that ball in the dirt very, very well.
All right, now you do have first base open again. 2 runners in scoring position. The count moves to 1-2 on Nolan. Royster started the inning. The base hit Stoll second, and then on a chopper over third, Office got him home. Now Office is at third. Burroughs is at second. A windup, and he sends a high pop over to the right side. Stargell over, looking up into a bright sun, now out of a shadow and into it again. But the captain has no trouble, and the side has been retired. Braves on the board in the first. With a run on a couple of hits, there were no errors, and 2 men were left. We have played an inning in Atlanta. Rubber game of a 3-game set. Braves draw first blood. It's Atlanta 1, Pittsburgh nothing. It's birthday time for a member of the Pirate family, Bill Robinson, and his son, Bill III, or the Whip, as we call him. They've got a birthday card there. That beat Malin one, didn't it, Kelly? I bet you're getting a bigger kick out of that one. Kelly, of course, is Bill's daughter, celebrating the birthday today and watching. Old Pop never forgets. So we go to the second with Willie Stargell, Bill Robinson, and Bill Madlock. Let's go out and get the run back in a hurry here. Stargell played in the first game Friday night, went 1 for 3, drove in a run, got last night off, so ready to come right back against this fellow, Eddie Solomon. Stargell will step in as our leading batter, 307. The captain with 17 homers and 40 ribbies, and he's had a good road trip. Stargell against Solomon to start the second inning. Moreno, Foley, and Parker went quickly and quietly in the first. Never ceases to amaze people. Willie Stargell. Had Alex Gramus on the warm-up on the radio side today, and he knew Willie in other years, and he says, to see him now and see this quickness still in that bat, but that's the story you hear every place. There's a line drive foul. Going to hit up above their bullpen and end up in the seats, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike.
That's that message that Willie likes to give a starting pitcher early in a ball game. If you're going to come in there, you better have a lot on it, because I'm going to be sitting on it.
All right, Solomon working, the 1-1 pitch. Sends a high foul off to the left side. Royster and Burroughs moving, but the ball is going to bounce right in front of that white line. Had he caught the ball, it would have been a catch, because it was, what, maybe 2 or 3 feet before that ground rule line down there.
Well, a lot of people here in the ballpark don't understand that Jeff Burroughs had a long way to run. They're playing Willie to pull quite a bit, and Burroughs was playing more in left center. He ran a long way for that ball and just didn't have a chance to get to it.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Robinson on deck. Madlock down in the hold. We're in the second inning. Braves are on top 1-0. Long way to go. Solomon had a good idea right there. He just missed a little, didn't he?
Trying to get Willie to go for that pitch down in the dirt, and once in a while Willie has a tendency to chase that pitch.
And the 2-2. Fouled off to the left. Royster and Nolan moving. Royster has a play over on the track in front of our dugout. Stargell's out on a pop-up to Royster, and that makes it 1 down. Before Robinson steps in, want to remind you this copyrighted telecast is authorized under television rights granted by the Pirates solely for the entertainment of our audience, and any publication, reproduction, or other use of the pictures, descriptions, or accounts of this game without the express written consent of the Pirates is prohibited. Robinson 1 for 8 in the series. They did not give him an RBI last night. A lot of people wondered about it, but nobody could talk the official scorer into it. The excuse he gave in the parlance of the baseball players was weak. Said the runner hadn't been moving. There's a bouncer toward the hole. Frias is going to grab and throw, but oh, brother. Well, let's get another look.
Boy, I tell you, this ball had base hit written on it all the way, but Frias goes way in the hole, and on the run toward the other way, throws the ball way in the air, makes a good throw. Horner makes a good stretch. That's just a great major league play.
Here's Bill Madlock. I don't know how in the world he ever got him. Madlock 4 for 8 in this series. Takes one inside a ball. Madlock coming in here hitting very well since joining us. He's got his batting average up to 281. Remember, there was a doubleheader recently in Cincy. In fact, a week ago today where he took a size 8 collar. But, boy, he's bounced back. He's gone from the 260s up to the 280s, 281 today. There's a high foul over to the right side, out of play, 1-1. Bill has 8 homers for the year, 1 as a Pirate, 47 runs batted in, 6 with us since joining us. He's played every game on this trip. And, of course, the first game in St. Louis was the first game that he played for us. 2 balls and 1 strike. Nobody on and 2 away. Solomon working with a 1-0 lead. There's a bouncer third. Royster in, little short hop. 3 up and 3 down. Braves giving signs that they're not going to give us anything tonight. They're playing a little better defense. In fact, the play by Frias was unreal. We played an inning and a half. Braves 1, Pirates nothing. On Saturday, July 21st at Three Rivers, going to be Kodak Camera Day for you Bucco fans, and all fans with a ticket to that game against the Astros will be admitted onto the playing field to take pictures of your favorite Pirates. The photo session will last from 12:45 to 1:30. All fans should enter the field through the center field gate located under Gate C. That's Camera Day, July 21st at Three Rivers, 12:45 to 1:30. You be down on the field and take pictures to your heart's content. Happy Frias will be leading it off in the second inning. Bottom third of their order. Frias in the series, 2 for 7. The Mark Goldsmith birthday message that was up on the board when we came back is for our director today. Brian Sipe taking a busman's holiday. Watching from down in the stands. Fly ball, center. Moreno there, pounds the glove. The Antelope will grab it. And it's 1 down. Frias came in hitting 297. He's hitting a lot better, I think, than anybody dreamed he would when they got him. Fellow coming into bat now is probably in danger of either going to the bench or back to AAA when Murphy comes back.
I have an idea, Melo. They'll move Royster to second base to make room for Horner at third and then Murphy back at first.
Good breaking ball in there. Hubbard comes in batting 224, 2 homers, 23 runs batted in. A ball and a strike. Hubbard batting with nobody on and 1 away. Solomon, the pitcher, due up next. He's just moving on deck. We're in the second inning. The Braves have a 1-0 lead. Office driving in Royster in the opening frame. Bibby working for the Bucks. Boy, good velocity, good location.
Bibby just let loose of that and said, try and catch up with that one if you can, and there wasn't any chance. That was about a 98-mile-an-hour Hummer right there.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Breaking ball, and he pops it into shallow right over near the line. I think Parker's got a better look, and he came on. Stennett went out, and I've got a feeling that little spot we talked about where the sun comes through, that ball got up in there coming down. Looked like Rennie had a little trouble with it. Parker coming on as he always does, then he was able to bail him out, like you said, back up everybody.
Well, that's exactly what Davey has done so well. He will hustle out there for you, and saw Rennie might be in a little trouble and called for the ball himself.
All right, Solomon's had 4 hits this year. One of them a double, no RBIs. Against us with his bat, he is 0 for 3. 2 away now in the Atlanta second. Yeah, he left the air out of that one, too. Solomon's probably saying, hey, wait a minute, we belong to the same union, the pitchers union. Right at Foley, came up on him, but he stayed right with it. Good play, Timmy, and it's 3 up and 3 down. We have played 2 innings. After the first 2, Atlanta 1, Pirates nothing.
Arrangements with the Pirates for this telecast. The announcers for this game have been selected by station KDKA-TV, subject to the approval of the Pittsburgh Pirates Baseball Club.
Well, this is it for all of our fans for Giant Eagle Home Run Sweepstakes as we go to the third inning in Atlanta. And this is it for G. Budryk of Pittsburgh. Budryk. And since it's a G, we don't know if it's a he or a she. So we'll just say, G. Budryk, you root the Bucks home during this top of the third. And if you do, hello there. Well, if Bucko hits a home run, you're going to win $1,500 worth of Giant Eagle groceries. Ed Ott will be leading it off. We have not had a base runner. Ott batting in the 7th spot. He'll be followed by Stennett and Bibby. Bottom third of the order for Eddie Solomon here in the third. Solomon working with the 1-0 lead. Ott is batting .261, 5 homers, 21 runs batted in. Ott, a few times on this trip, and that was just one of those instances right there. He's been swinging at pitches were not in the strike zone. That was a better pitch than the one he swung at, and he laid it off of it. 1 ball and 1 strike. Ott in this series is 2 for 8. Oh, good wood on that one. Solomon got that ball. Oh, Office bobbled that ball. Not alertly. He's going to get an extra base. That should be a single and an E8. It is. Boy, you couldn't get a better ball in that location if you were telling Joe Lynette where to put him in BP.
That seemed to be an off-speed pitch that he got up and over the plate. And boy, Ed Ott just got the sweet part of the bat on it and very alertly rounded the bag at first base and saw when the ball was bobbled, saw the opportunity to take the extra base. Heads up base running.
Rennie Stennett's 2 for 8 in the series. Rennie batting .233 for the year, driven in 17 runs, has had a good road trip. He's played some great second base, been swinging the bat a little bit better. There's a fly ball out into right field. Matthews went back, now a little toward right center. Missed the grab. Ott's going to tag. He's headed for third. The throw toward third will be cut off by the shortstop. And it is one away with a runner at third base. Bibby will have a chance to help himself here. If he can get a fly ball with any depth, he could make it a brand new game. G. Budryk is still our contestant. Don't give up hope because Bibby's capable. He can hit him out. Bibby has had 1 hit this year, batting .090. Batting with Ed Ott at third, and Bobby Cox draws the infield up all the way around.
That's a little strange this early in a ball game. Normally, you don't want the visiting ball club to have a big inning on you.
Well, he got away with it because Bibby hit it right at the second baseman Hubbard, and he just flipped it on to first, and no chance for Ott to move there. All right, up to the top, it's up to Omar Moreno, who's going to take some extra time that on-deck circle. On a hot, muggy night, he's going to give Bibby all the time he wants to walk slowly back to that dugout. And I'm sure there's a wet towel down there that he's going to use to refresh himself. And see, they're just, Tim Foley's going to stop on the way by, say, just take your time, big guy. We're not going anywhere. The plane's not even here yet.
And Jim is a fellow that would perspire if it were 15 below zero. You get in this kind of weather, he loses a lot of weight when he pitches.
All right, here's Omar Moreno getting ready to step up in there. In the first inning, he bounced to third on a check swing. Hit a home run last night. G. Budryk of Pittsburgh's hoping Omar can put on an encore to that act. Because if he does, $1,500 worth of Giant Eagle groceries. Third inning. Bucks on the short end of a 1-0 game. Lucky he didn't wild pitch that run in.
It sure was, and Nolan showed great dexterity behind the plate. Was able to move very well.
Second baseman Hubbard is really moved over, and so is Horner. If he hits it through the right side, it's got to be hit sharply. Ball makes it 2-0. So Eddie Solomon working here in the third inning. His teammates got him a run in the first, so he's working with a 1-0 lead. Bucks would really like to capture this one. If they do that, they take the series. Also gives them a little high point to end it up on here. Go to the All-Star break. 2-0. Fouled past Almonchek at first. 2-1. Montreal put a stopper on the Padres today. They shut them out. Phillies beat the Dodgers 10-3. San Francisco finally got under the W in New York, beat the Mets. We have Ed Ott at third. Leadoff single, error 8, and then a fly ball got him over to third. Need that big clutch hit out of Moreno right here. Make it a new game and start over.
With both infielders playing so deeply on the right side, Omar just bunts the ball past the pitcher that nobody will even get a chance to pick up the ball.
They won't pick that one up either. Line drive single. He just hung out a frozen rope. It's his 6th hit of the series. In the RBI column, Moreno now with 37. He got a chance, if he can get another hit today, to have 110 hits in the All-Star break. That one was his 109th, and here it is again.
Boy, wasn't that bad a pitch, really, and Omar just ripped it like he has been. His timing has been great at the plate. He's seeing the ball very well. Otter dents the dish.
And we've got 1 run apiece. So the error on Office, as he nonchalanted Ott's ball a little bit, I thought, because he was right there to make the play. And he kicked it, paved the way for the run. We'd still be trying to get a run home.
You cannot nonchalant a ball on this field. As we explained last night, it's in rough shape in the outfield, and if you lay back on a ball, it gives it that chance to take the extra hop, which could be a bad one.
Throw over, but Moreno's back. Omar, of course, with 37 big stolen bases. He's had 5 against Atlanta. Solomon with a kind of got a little move like Bibby. Throws over, doesn't get him. But he might be one of those pitchers that a good base stealer would, if he's watched it closely, might be able to steal on him because he comes to that long stretch.
He has a high kick toward home plate, too, and that's where you try and get the jump.
Tim Foley, who flied to right in the first inning. It's stepped back to take a look at Joe Lynette. Moreno with his lead, edging a little, throw over, chases him back, but doesn't get him. With his 37th RBI in this inning, it matches his stolen base total at 37. Out of the Doug Kennedy tidbit book. We're going to make a fan out of Doug yet. He is a fan.
We could use a fan in this booth. I know that tonight.
Oh. Not quite as bad as it was, though. I think maybe it cooled off a little. Might be down to 90. Runner going. Throw down will not be in time. And it's his 38th stolen base of the year, his 6th against Atlanta. And the Antelope continues to play. All right.
Didn't have a particularly good jump, but I'll tell you, I really like the way he accelerated in the baselines. They didn't have a chance on Omar. He used that great speed of his to beat the play easily.
Well, and look how torn up it is around first base. This infield is almost a quagmire. He might have not eaten. That's a strike, and it's 1-1. The footing might not have enabled him to get a good jump.
I tell you, the infield is so bad here that our infielders won't even take infield practice or practice balls during batting practice because they're afraid it's going to come up and hit them in the face.
Checking Omar. Well, he got a pretty good lead. In fact, it was so big, Solomon stepped away. Says, hey, wait a minute.
Omar says, hey, if they're going to let me get the big lead, I'm going to take it. The shortstop was playing way back on near the outfield grass, and so was the second baseman, neither making any attempt to hold him on, practically giving us that run on any shallow single.
And of course, Joe Lynette's helping him with those infielders. There's a looping fly ball to center. It's going to be caught on the run by Roland Office. Well, no home run was hit during this Giant Eagle sweepstakes inning, but no one ever loses here. Our contestant, G. Budrick of Pittsburgh, will receive a certificate for 10 Tasty Cake family packs and an assortment of Data Juice products available at your grocer. Our next Giant Eagle sweepstakes will be worth $1,600. Well, the Bucks get on the board and tie it. 1 run in a couple of innings. Hits, and after 2 1/2, it's new. Pittsburgh 1, Atlanta 1.
"30 years ago, on a hot summer's day, your father taught you how to dig for clams. Now that it's a job, the sun seems hotter and the day longer, but the clams taste just as sweet. And now comes Miller time. Time to head for the best-tasting beer you can find. America's quality beer, Miller High Life.
If you've got the time, we got the beer. Miller Beer.
Before you step into these shoes, you'll run 100 miles. You'll strengthen every muscle you have. And you'll study like you've never studied before. Then you'll fit the proud dress blues of a United States Marine. Maybe you can be one of us.
For more information about Marine Corps opportunities in the Pittsburgh area, call 800-423-2600 or local United States Marine Corps recruiter.
Getting ready to go to the third, Jim Bibby now finds himself right back in it, involved in a 1-1 tie. He'll be looking at the top of their order. Royster, Matthews, and Office. Two of those three hurt him in the first inning. And there are some folks having a good time at the old ballpark. Why don't you put yourself in their place and be at Three Rivers on Thursday to welcome this Bucco team home. Start off the second half and Thursday night doubleheader.
Great bargains coming up. We've got 3 doubleheaders in, 5 days before they can see a lot of baseball.
You betcha, and it starts Thursday right after the break. And Houston, Bill Verdon's club, they've been in first place, going on 80 days. Did he go? Yes, he did. Couldn't hold up. Strike on Royster, who started their first inning with a base hit up the middle, stole second, scored on an Office double. Big breaking ball coming up and in, and he just tried to back out of the way, and it hit his bat. That'll cost him a strike, and it's 0-2.
I like the way Doug Harvey gives you that delayed call at home plate. He doesn't give you much of a chance to break out of the box.
Jerry Royster started as a Dodger. One and two. So we got Blyleven and Keeson ready for that doubleheader Thursday night. Candelaria will pitch the Friday night single game. Bouncer short, Foley in, bobbled just briefly, but throws and got him. Boy, stayed right with it. Those good hands wouldn't let it get away. Tim Foley throws out. Royster one down in the Atlanta third. Then if Rooker is physically able, he will pitch the Saturday night game. And I guess if he isn't able, since this is Sunday, I guess Bibby would get the nod, wouldn't he? You'd like to have Rooker be able to pitch that Saturday night game so that Bibby then will be available for one of the Sunday doubleheader games, probably along with Dave Roberts. Look out, low bridge.
Well, earlier today, Jim Bibby told me that he's going to pitch in on these guys a little more, keep them a little more honest. He felt that an example of Horner's home run last night wasn't too bad a pitch, and he was able to go out there and jerk the ball a little bit. He says, we've got to keep them just a little more honest. They're much better hitters than they used to be.
2 balls, no strikes on Matthews. Office will be next. Third inning, nobody on, one down. Bibby and Solomon, the pitchers. There's a foul this way. Doug Kennedy, are you going to get it? Boy, what a try he made. Doug still got those good moves. I want to see him with that new move, with that 3-cornered with a safety pin. That won't be long, will it? You've been practicing? Wait till about 4 o'clock some morning and Mom taps him and says, it's your turn to feed him.
And the cleaning.
And he ends up walking Matthew. Second walk given up by Bibby to go with a couple of strikeouts. Now Office. Bibby will be looking at the left-hand batting center fielder, who hit a high chopper over Madlock's head. And as Nellie pointed out, nothing you can do with that ball. Just go chase it into the grass. Roland Office. string bean outfielder. The hits are even at 2. The runs are even at 1. The only one error belongs to the fellow who's batting right now, and that enabled us to tie the game. Not close as Stargell holds against Matthews. Matthews has stolen 9 bases, so you've got to keep a check on him. He has good speed for a big guy, too. Not close. Just let him know that you're thinking about him a little bit. Matthews may not have the good speed to be a great base stealer, but he does have good speed to, on an extra base hit, he'll fakes a break, doesn't go, and the pitch almost knocks off his down. He twists out of there. Going from first to third or first to home, if things start to happen, Matthews really can pick him up and lay him down. All right, Roland Office with a 1-ball, no strike count. His double in the first put Atlanta in front. Then Omar Moreno got a hit to get out home. That tied it. That's where we are now. 1-1 in the bottom of the third in Atlanta. Wrap-up time before the All-Star game here today. High fly ball, right center. Parker waiting. And that'll make it 2 away. Horner, the first baseman, will be stepping in with that fellow right there, Matthews, at first and 2 down. Horner struck out on a big breaking ball in the first inning. And when he steps in, the crowd reacts. He's an exciting young power hitter, this fellow. Coming off of a college campus, didn't awe him at all. In fact, his first game here, he hit a homer off Bert Blyleven. First big league game. Off a guy who's pitched a no-hitter and been a 20-game winner. Runner going. Ott's throw will be, whoop, looked like it was there and either bounced away or got kicked away. He'll get credit for a stolen base. Let's see the finish of it here.
Well, Ed Ott seems to make a good throw, and Rennie tried to make the quick tag also. I thought he had maybe a chance, but Rennie took the throw in front of the bag and was trying to make the quick tag and just didn't come up with it. But that base was stolen on Jim Bibby's big windup.
All right, now Horner with 1-ball, no strike count. Matthews in scoring position. They got a potential tiebreaker out there now with that theft. His 10th of the year, line foul. Well, I tell you, when he hits a ball, it just jumps off of his bat.
That's a breaking ball that Jim Bibby has had up and over the plate numerous times tonight, and he's going to have to be a little more careful with that pitch and have better location, especially to a power hitter, or that pitch is going to eventually hurt him.
1-1 on Horner. Matthews at second, 2 down.
Hitters' eyes get the size of saucers when they see that kind of pitch coming up.
Well, he came back with that good pitch that was effective for him on this fellow in the first inning.
Well, that's what I like, when a pitcher will repeat the same pitch that he made a mistake with, come right back and make a good pitch. Most of the time, hitters aren't looking for the pitch in that situation.
And it gets his confidence right back in a hurry to throw it again. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Look at Bibby. He's dripping, folks. Matthews second. 2 away. Third inning, trying to keep it at a tie game here. Ooh, good stop of that little short hop skidding in the dirt by Ed Ott.
It was, and we saw there on the shot of Jim Bibby just how heavily he sweats. He'll go through probably about 4 sweatshirts and 3 hats tonight.
I wonder if he took a page out of Captain Willie Stargell's book on a day like today. Captain brought a head of cabbage to the park, you know. He's got cabbage leaves in his cap. Now, you know I couldn't make that up. It's got to be a true story, right? Now it's 3-2. He sure enough does, brother. He's got cabbage leaves in his cap.
Whatever Willie does is all right with me.
You betcha. All right, a payoff is due. Let's see if he comes back with that good bender that he got him with in the first inning. 3-2, 2 down. Burroughs would be next. He drove it a mile, but he hit it so hard it's going to hook foul. Just like we said last night. He puts such a sting in it that if it's riding the line at all, it's not going to stay fair, and that's just what happened to that ball.
Got that top hand over and was out in front just a little bit. Jim Bibby took a little off his breaking ball, got it up high, and boy, Horner ripped it.
Alex Grimace, who played with and against some of the great hitters of the 50s and early 60s, now coaching third base for this club, says this is as good a young hitter as he has seen in a long time. That's a fair ball. Madlock's going to go through with it, and he throws him out. Nice play by Mad Dog. So he gets out of it with no runs, no hits, no errors, a walk, and one man left. We have played 3 innings in Atlanta in the rubber game. We're tied. Pittsburgh Pirates 1, Atlanta Braves 1.
43 miles a gallon, coming right up.
Flash your mileage extender? 1995, right on the train.
Here we go.
People do some crazy things to get better mileage. So Golf would like to recommend a few that aren't so crazy.
Like removing that extra weight, replacing a dirty air filter, maybe even correcting a small mistake.
Here's your problem, sir.
It's smart to get the most out of the gas you buy and place you buy it.
Hello, I'm Anna, with a message for men with sensitive skin. Let me mother your face with Noxzema Anti-Friction Shave, the first gel that comes out foaming. Feel nice? It actually forms a glide shield to protect your skin against razor burn. Sensitive skin? Let me mother your face with Noxzema Anti-Friction Shave. Trust Anna.
The next 3 innings are sponsored in part by Tasty Cake. Cakes, pies, and cookies, all the good things wrapped up in one. And by Daily Juice Products, sponsor of Daly's favorite pirate contest. Be sure you vote in the Daly's favorite pirate contest. Well, a very pleasant good evening, a Sunday evening from Atlanta, Georgia. Along with Milo Hamilton and Nellie Bryles, this is Lanny Fratteri, and we hope it's a pleasant night where you are. Well, Nellie, in Houston, Jim Bibby brought the Astros back down to earth. Tonight, Bibby trying to do the clip job on the Atlanta Braves.
Well, he is. He's doing something that we mentioned in our opening. He's challenging the hitters. He's trying to stay out in front, just go as hard as he can, as long as he can, and he's doing the job that we need him to do tonight.
He doesn't have the advantage of the nice humidity like he did in the Astrodome, but Jim Bibby's always been a strong worker. He'll just rear back and come at you, and he's doing that. It's a 1-1 ball game. The total's 1 run, 2 hits, no errors for the Pirates, 1 run, 2 hits, 1 error for Atlanta. Parker will lead off the 4th inning. Dave is 0 for 1. Followed by Stargell and Bill Robinson. Dave batting .297 on the year. Left center. Drops in. Parker will make the turn at first. Now he got caught off first base, and they got him. Ball dropped in between Burroughs, Office, and Frias. Not sure Dave saw Bob Horner sneaking in on him.
Well, this is just one of those balls that get in between, and Burroughs picked up Stargell coming around first base. Horner slipped back behind. It was a good throw. And they caught Dave. Dave knew it.
1 away. That's hit number 3 for the Bucks. Dave gets credit for a single. Here's Stargell. Shot up the line. Horner will take it himself. Stargell's out 2 away. 1-1 ball game. Top of the 4th inning. Atlanta, Georgia. This will be our final stop in here this year, and yet, unless of course the Braves do something miraculous and make it to the National League Western Division playoffs. You have a lot of fond memories of Atlanta, Georgia?
I do. There's one story in '68 when Joe Horner was on the St. Louis club with me. The driver didn't show up to drive us all home after the game, so he said, "Shoot, I'll drive the bus," and he got on it and drove us back to the hotel.
Did he have any experience that you just can't get behind the wheel of a bus and take it off?
Well, his philosophy in driving the bus that night was, if I get up enough speed, I can go anywhere.
It's like many things. You get momentum going your way. Get those wheels turning.
The only problem he had was when he tried to turn into the Marriott Hotel, he turned it a little too sharp and put the bus right on top of the Marriott sign in the garden.
Robinson, base hit into center. Oh, the single for Bill, his first base hit of the night. He was robbed on an outstanding play by Pepe Frias in the second. Bill had himself an infield single a couple innings ago, but Frias came up with that fine play. It's 1-1. We're in the fourth inning. Robinson at first with 2 down.
You can do things.
Excuse me, I was going to say 68. I guess your club was going pretty well then, huh?
Well, that's what I was going to say, Lanny. You can do a lot of things, I guess, when you're winning, and everything is funny when you're winning and not so funny when you're losing, and that's what makes for a good ball club. Everybody's pretty loose, and you're together. Except I will have to say that quite a few players did bail out when Joe Horner made the famous turn in the stadium and went out on the street. A lot of players bailed out.
Asked to see his license, and when he was unable to produce it, they said, "We'll take cabs, thank you." Matlock batting with 2 down. Still hitting .280 on the year. Batting .378 as a Pirate. Matlock's always been a good hitter, and he loves hitting with that black and gold on. Robinson's running. There it goes. Solomon never saw him. Bill Robinson probably pulled that play well as just about anybody. All those years of experience, and Bill learned a few things. He pulled it so well on Solomon. Caught him napping the stolen base for Bill, his 7th. Pirates have the runner in scoring position with 2 down. Base hit to center. Robinson will score. Pirates will go in front 2-1. Matlock, RBI single. The Bucks have driven in both of their runs tonight after 2 away.
Oh, we're doing the little things that it takes to build a lead. There's a 2-out base hit. It was a slider out and over the plate. Matlock alertly did not try and pull it, hit it up the middle. Office tried to charge the ball to get Robinson at home plate, but didn't have a play at all. Just threw the ball back into second base.
Matlock gets his 48th RBI of the year. 2-1 Buccos in the fourth inning. Go along next couple of innings. We'll run down on all the details. Had a lot of baseball action this afternoon, quite obviously. Ed Ott had a base hit, scored our first run in the third. What about Solomon? You think we can run against him in this situation?
He's a lot like Jim Bibby with the big leg kick and a slow move toward home plate. He does throw to first base and try to keep the runners close, but the runners try and wait until he commits himself home and then steal on him.
Matlock with 15 stolen bases on the year. Opposite number 5 on the right corner. Matlock and Horner. First base umpire is Charlie Williams. He's going. Shortstop Frias lost sight of the ball for a moment as Matlock was going into second base. It goes out into center field, and the Pirates have runners at the corners. Matlock moving over to third. That's going to be scored, a base hit. Let's watch it again. Let's see if he got screened on the play.
Well, that's what I like to see. We see Matlock going into second base, and he wasn't screened there. But I think the ball just accelerated off that hard dirt and fooled Frias. He didn't get his glove out in time.
He was breaking to cover the second base bag. It looked like a break for Atlanta. He was over far enough to make the play on the right side of second base. So the Pirates now with 3 straight hits after 2 away. It's our 4th hit of the inning. And Rennie Stennett 0 for 1. 2-1 Pirates lead. Have runners at the corners.
Rennie's 0 for 1, but he was very much responsible for our first run because with nobody out, he hit that fly to right field, enabled our runner to move over, and then Omar Moreno nailed the base hit.
One ball and 1 strike. Matlock at third after the RBI single moved over to third on the base hit by Ed Ott. So first and third situation with 2 down. Foul back. Pitcher Jim Bibby due up next. Eddie Solomon. 4-5 on the year. A ball and 2 strikes on Stennett. Right field. Matthews over and has it. Right near the line. So the Pirates go out in front. Get 1 run on 4 hits. An RBI single by Bill Madlock back up the middle. After 3.5 innings of play, it's our Pittsburgh Pirates 2 and the Atlanta Braves 1.
It's a long drive, going, foul. If your transmission's gone foul after a long drive, see your local AMCO dealer.
Getting ready for the bottom of the 4th inning. Want to send out our best wishes to Enrique Romo, celebrating a birthday today. My buddy. Going to start learning Spanish so that I can get him more often on our interview shows. 32nd birthday for him.
All right, your first lesson then.
First lesson.
Happy birthday in Spanish is buenos cumpleaños.
Huh?
Cumpleaños.
Buenos cumpleaños.
That's pretty good, except you need the tilde, yos.
Yos.
Yeah, there you got it. Buenos cumpleaños. You're coming along. All right.
Mucho bene. Well, don't forget, on Thursday, July 19th, the Pirates and the Houston Astros will meet in the Pirates' first twilight doubleheader of the season. It'll be bronze red night when 8 Town Talk rappers brought to Gate D. Good for 1 free ticket to the game for youngsters 16 and under.
You know, that's the Pirates and the Astros doubleheader Thursday, July 19th. 8 bronze rappers brought to Gate D equals 1 free ticket. Game time 6:05.
All right. Bottom of the 4th inning. By the way, in this upcoming homestand, we've got a big home run hitting contest coming up, a team competition for the Pirates against 4 of the Reds, and that's really going to be a special night, July 24th, because the Pirates, as they've done so often for so long, try to return into the community what the community has given to the ball players, and so some of the benefit from that night for the Bob Moose Fund, and you're going to be part of that festivity, aren't you, Bob?
Well, yes, I am. I'm going to be the MC for the Bob Moose auction after the ball game. And the benefit and everything for the home run contest is in memory of Bob Moose and is run by the Bob Moose Committee. And that whole evening, 7,000 tickets. If you buy them from the Bob Moose Committee, they get all the money for that. The Pirates are behind that, donated the tickets. So it's going to be a full evening for the Bob Moose Committee in memory of my roommate and a lot of our teammates. So we're pretty excited about the evening.
A lot of special people. Of course, Jim Rooker and Bob Moose were very good friends. Bob Moose was Bruce Keeson's best man when Bruce was married in '71. And there's a plaque in the Pirate Clubhouse in dedication to the former Pirate pitcher. Burrows, base at Bibby. Bottom of the 4th. Pirates leading 2-1. Have you been practicing up to be an auctioneer? It takes a special flair, special style.
Well, I've been working on a little bit. $4, $5, I'm working on it. I'm working on it.
That's good. I'm going to stop in and look at that. That's a lot of fun. That's all the festivities around the start of the Red Series on Tuesday, July the 24th. Burrows shot off the glove of Bibby. Regrouping, threw him out. Good play. Made the glove save, knocked it down. Ball went off to the first base side, so Burrows is out. Good reaction by Jim Bibby.
It sure was. We're going to see the shot right back at him. Oh, sticks up the glove, more or less fights it off in self-defense, but then picks up the ball, hustles, crosses the line, and makes a good throw to Willie. A point of note here is Willie Stargell crossed over the bag, took the throw on the inside, giving him a good target to throw at. It was a nice move by Willie.
So 1 down in the bottom of the 4th inning. 2-1 Pirates lead. Joe Nolan, the batter. He followed out to Stargell in the 1st inning. Most of the clubs involved in the National League Eastern Division chase were winners today. The exceptions, well, the one exception as far as teams that are contending in the Eastern Division, the Chicago Cubs. They were beaten by the Reds at Riverfront today, 7-1.
Yeah, Rick Ruscia was the losing pitcher. He's now 8-6. Tom Seaver, Tom Terrific, was a winner. He's now 9-5.
Reds got a 3-run homer in that game from David Concepcion, his 9th of the year. And the Reds pick up another game on the Houston Astros. The lead in the West, Houston leading by 5.5 as the Astros were beaten by the Cardinals today, 3-1.
Yeah, guy that beat us just last week, Fulgham was the winner. He's now 3-2, and James Rodney Richard lost again. He's now 7-10.
Astros got their only run, by the way, on a home run by Jose Cruz, and that was in the 9th inning, his 6th of the year. Houston has dropped 8 of its last 9. And of course, in that span, the 3 that the Astros dropped to our Buccos on this trip. 2 balls and a strike on Nolan. 1 down, bottom of the 4th inning. Phillies clobbered the Dodgers today. The Phillies got 8 runs in the 3rd and went on to win the game 10-3.
Yeah, Bob Welch was racked around a little bit today. He was a losing pitcher, now 4-6, and the winning pitcher was lefty Randy Lurch. He's now 5-8.
Lurch pitching with he's got a cast on his right hand, his non-throwing hand. And the Dodgers got a pair of home runs today in a losing cause. Steve Yeager and Steve Garvey have the dingers. The Phillies, they're coming. They've won 11 of their last 14. Walk to Nolan. That's the 3rd walk issued by Jim Bibby. 1 on, 1 out. 4th inning, Pirates in front 2-1. Giants beat the Mets 4-0 this afternoon, and good news for Eddie Whitson fans.
That sure was. Eddie is now 3-4. He was winning pitcher today. Craig Swan was a loser. He's now 8-8. We have to credit Barbone with a save, number 4.
And Mark Hill and Mike Ivey at home runs for the winning San Francisco Giants today at Shea. Give you the Expos score in a second. As Montreal beats San Diego. Runner at first, 1 down. 4-0, the Expos beat the Padres. A combined 5-hit shutout for the Montreal pitching staff.
All right, the winning pitcher was Scott Sanderson. Elias Sosa with his 10th save. John D'Acquisto was losing pitcher. He's now 6-6.
Expos got 3 home runs in that game. 1 by Ellis Valentine, 2 by Dawson. Andre Dawson's 15th and 16th home runs of the year. Well, that brings you up to date on all of the action. As the foul ball at the bat, Pepe Frias scatters the Atlanta Braves in their dugout on the first base side. 2-1. Braves took a 1-0 lead in the 1st inning. Off his double drove in Royster. Pirates tied it in the 3rd. A Moreno 2-out single drove in Ed Ott. Took lead at the top of this inning on a Madlock 2-out single that drove into Robinson.
Well, we see right there, Jim Bibby knew that he's been throwing that curveball and slider high, and he did it again, and was admonishing himself there somewhat and say, come on, you got to get that ball down now. It's been all night. Sooner or later, it's going to hurt me. There he is, talking to himself, reminding him of what he has to do.
I guess like any sport, concentration, such a valuable part of it. Bibby ready now with a sign from Ed Ott. Madlock going to take the out at first base. High throw, and Frias is safe. That's going to be an error on Bill Madlock. Bill felt he had no chance at all to get the runner, Nolan rather, going to second, so he tried to get Frias at first.
It was one of those high choppers off the end of the bat. Madlock charged the ball very well. Came up, and a good throw would have got him, but just threw the ball up and away a little bit, and Willie couldn't get back to the bat.
Well, the Braves have 2 on with 1 away. And the number 8 hitter for the Atlanta Braves, Glenn Hubbard, stepping in. He flied out to Parker in shallow right field in the 2nd inning. I'd like to get a double play here and force that Braves pitcher to lead off the 5th inning. Runners at first and second, 1 away. Pirates leading 2-1, last half of the 4th. Center field, Moreno will track it down, 2 away. Runners move back, Nolan to second, and Frias to first. Batter will be pitcher Eddie Solomon. Solomon bounced to shortstop in the 2nd. We've got a big homestand coming up after the All-Star break. Meet the Western Division leading Houston Astros in a twilight doubleheader this coming Thursday. Chuck Tanner has indicated that Bert Blyleven and Bruce Keaton will start those games against Houston. Final stop on this 4-2 weak road swing. And Bibby with a starting assignment against the Braves, lead 2-1.
defense is going to be playing deeper on the infield now. They want to try and knock the ball down if they can. Keep that runner on second base from scoring on something that gets through the infield.
One and one. Bibby with a pair of strikeouts so far. Eddie Solomon with a 133 batting average this year. Running mates are Nolan and Frias, second and first respectively. 1-1 pitch. Up and in, 1-2.
Jim's had good location with his fastball tonight. He's been moving it around very well. Now if he can only get that same pattern with his breaking ball, he's going to be tough.
I thought the strikeout he got of Horner in the first inning was an impressive strikeout, the way he set him up. Foul ball between the bag and the coaching box, and remains a ball and 2 strikes. Atlanta Fulton County Stadium, home turf of the National Football League Atlanta Falcons, soccer team the Atlanta Chiefs, and of course the home of the Braves. 2 on, 2 out, bottom of the 4th inning. Jim Bibby's 4th start of the year. Earlier in this trip, a start and a victory went into the 9th inning, beat the Houston Astros. 1-2 pitch. And Solomon's gone. 3rd strikeout for Bibby. The Atlanta Braves in the 4th inning. No runs, no hits. 1 Pirate error. There was 1 walk. So we've now played 4. Sunday night action from Atlanta, Georgia. And our Buccos have a 1-run lead over the Braves. We'll be right back.
For people. For business. People. Boundaries are for business.
And zoos are for people.
How do you make Pittsburgh Yellow Pages shopping twice as easy, twice as fast? Make 2 books instead of 1.
DJ and Penny present The Clown for Daly's Fresh Fruit Flavor Concentrate. Daly's Fresh Fruit Flavor Concentrate in the 104-pack gallon or the convenient 26-pack. 7 fresh fruit flavors. Daly's fruit-flavored concentrate. 3 cents a glass. And no sugar needed.
You know, I got to tell you, I'm really looking forward to this coming Friday night for the Pirates KDKA double play disco party. I guess it's no secret that disco is one of my weaknesses. So following the game against the Houston Astros this Friday, all fans will be down on the field and have a chance to disco on the surface at Three Rivers Stadium.
Well, that's it. You got the tartan turf there. You can go out and disco on the field at Three Rivers. The party will last till midnight. That's 12 p.m., and you'll be entertained before and after the game by the Pittsburgh Disco Cheerleaders. That's right, Friday, July 20th, the Pirates KDKA double play disco. Party immediately following the Pirates game with the Houston Astros.
I wonder if I could, I'm sure my wife would let me disco with every lady in the park, wouldn't she?
Oh, as long as she could disco with every male in the party.
No.
At the ballpark.
That's going to be a lot of fun. Friday night, Three Rivers Stadium for our disco party following the ball game with the Western Division leading Houston Astros. I think Chuck Tanner's got a little more in his mind than the disco party at this point. I would have to think Chuck's got to be happy about where his club is right now as we approach the All-Star break.
Yes, when I was talking to him before the game, he said the position of the Pirates is a good position for him. He said we aren't far away. Tonight's a big game because it means 2 games in the standings. If we win, we're just 3 games behind. If we lose, we can be 5. Did I say that right?
I'm not sure. I'm thinking about that. Swing and a miss. If we win, we're 4 back of the Expos who won today. If we lose, we're 5 back.
That's what I said.
1-1. Bibby struck out Solomon to close out the 4th, and now Solomon's got Bibby 1-2. And the strikeout. That is the first punch out for Eddie Solomon. Kelly, if you can, compare the styles of these two. Is there much difference?
I'll tell you, I'm very impressed with Solomon tonight. He's using that fastball, moving it around much as Bibby is tonight. He's got good velocity on it, not necessarily overpowering, but he throws the ball very well. Similar type windups. They're both slow to the plate, which is a detriment if you have, base runners. And we've been able to take advantage of that slow windup with stolen bases tonight. But they seem to be very similar in style. Fastball, slider pitcher.
1 out, top of the 5th inning. Pirates leading 2-1. Omar Moreno stepping in at a base hit in the 3rd to extend his hitting streak to 7 games. And he's hit safely in 14 of his last 16. It's really interesting, the winter months, if you were to go back now and look at all the talk and all the conversations over the winter, and even in spring training, the big questions, Omar Moreno in center field, and the Pirate catching. Both those questions have been pretty much taken care of in the early part of the season. 2 out. Hubbard taking charge of the Moreno line drive. Let's watch it again.
Well, it's a ball where Omar likes to hit, down and over the plate, and he screams the ball at the second baseman, who thought he was going to have to jump and really didn't have to. Made the put out.
Omar's base hit in the 3rd was a line shot into right field that drove in and out with our first run. We're now leading 2-1. Foley's 0 for 2. And pulls it down the left field line. That's foul ball. Strike 1. As I say, the 2 questions that many people had on their minds. Omar going to go to the All-Star break with a 300-plus batting average. And there's no denying what a good, steady job the Pirate catching corps has done. Of course, Ed Ott's been doing most of the trip catching on this road trip. Hopped into right field. Matthews for the Braves has him, and the Pirates are out 1, 2, 3 in the top of the 5th. So we are halfway through tonight's ball game. Pirates trying to flip the Braves away, and after 4.5, it's the Buccos 2 and the Atlanta Braves 1.
Those hot Cincinnati Reds, George Foster, Tom Seaver, Joe Morgan, and Johnny Bench, and of course the rest of the Cincinnati Reds will invade Three Rivers Stadium on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, July 24th, 5th, and 6th, to do battle with our Buccos.
Don't miss any of the action as the Pirates continue their battle for the National League Eastern Championship against a club that is contending in the West. Game time all 3 nights against the Reds, 7:35. And if you'd like more ticket information, we invite you to call our ticket office at 323-1150. And as we mentioned earlier, the Tuesday night game will have the 6:30 home run hitting contest. Willie Stargell, John Milner, Dave Parker, Bill Robinson will represent the Bucks. And for Cincinnati, it'll be Joe Morgan, Dan Dreesen, Johnny Bench, and George Foster. Bottom of the 5th inning, Jerry Royster will lead off for Atlanta. Pirates in front 2-1. The Braves had taken a 1-0 lead in the 1st. But then in the 3rd, the Bucks scored to tie it up. Got a run in the 4th. So it's the Pirates 2 runs on 6 hits. Atlanta 1 run on 2 hits. Royster lines it foul. Watch out. Scattered the Braves bullpen. Strike 1.
That Cincinnati story is an interesting one in that they've made this move as of late without a lot of their regulars, who are now at the present time back in the lineup. But George Foster was out when we were there, so was Concepcion. They had the Seavers had a back problem off and on. Benches had a back problem. All their second-line players hold them back.
They've got a good bench. They've shown that. There's a fly ball to left, and Royster's out 1 away. They've gotten good mileage off the bench, and right off the bat, Junior Kennedy comes to mind what he's done against us. There's look at one of the youngest managers in the game of baseball today, Bobby Cox, for many years in the Yankee organization, and now the skipper of the Atlanta Braves. 1 down in the 5th. Pirates 2, Braves 1. Matthews stepping in, struck out in the 1st, walked and swiped the base in the 3rd. That's the 3rd straight time that Bibby's come up and into Matthews, and Jim might get a warning here from Doug Harvey. Harvey's going to deliver a baseball. And, yep, he's being told about it. First inning, came up and into him, let him off in the 3rd inning, up and in, and had done it here in the 5th.
Well, here we're going to see the pitch again. I said they were going to try and ride the ball in on these guys and keep them loose. That's going to keep you loose right there and make you think a little bit about going out over the plate to get a ball. You got to pay the price, though, about $50.
They've got a few people that stand up on top of the plate. So it is 1-0 on Matthews.
And I'll tell you what, we can't forget about the kind of bad blood we've got between these clubs going back to our last series here.
Roland Office and situation with Kent DeColvey, Dave Parker with Garber. Bouncer to Madlock. On to Stargell, 2 away. Madlock, of course, had some problems with Bo McLaughlin of the Atlanta Braves when Madlock was a San Francisco Giants, and I talked with Bill the other night about it. He said, yeah, I'm thinking of, this was before we came into Atlanta, he said, I'm thinking of sending a telegram into Atlanta saying, I'm coming with the big guys. Stargell and Parker will be coming in. 2 outs. Here's Roland Office. 1 for 2 at an RBI double and a high bouncing ball back in the first. Lines it right at Stargell. And just that quickly, the Atlanta Braves are gone in inning number 5. So we've got an exciting ball game from Atlanta, Georgia tonight. The Pirates have a 2-1 lead, and we're coming back for the 6th inning. That's not a warning, folks. That's an invitation. We'll be back in just a moment. Time now to root the Bucks home during this half of the 6th inning, and our contestant in the 6th is Richard Bornman of Pittsburgh. If a Pirate hits a home run during this half of the 6th inning, Mr. Bornman will receive our Giant Eagle Groceries jackpot of $1,600. And in the 6th, we've got Dave Parker, Willie Stargell, and Bill Robinson due up. Nellie, let's take a look at the American League scores. Minnesota beat Toronto 9-4 this afternoon.
Yeah, lefty Jeff Zahn was the winner. He's now 8-2. Jim Clancy took the loss. He's now 2-6.
And the home runs for the Twins. Dave Edwards, a grand slam in the 3rd. Butch Weiger had a home run from Minnesota. Detroit clobbered the White Sox 14-5 this afternoon.
Jack Morris was the winning pitcher. He's now 8-5. There was 20 hits for Detroit in that ball game, 13 for Chicago. Rick Wortham was a loser. He's now 9-9.
And of the 33 hits, only 1 home run that was hit by Rusty Torres of the White Sox. Milwaukee over Cleveland 10-4 today.
And Barker, loser. He's now 0-3. Sorensen was a winner. He's now 11-9.
Indians got a couple of home runs in the losing cause. One from Alston, the other from Andre Thornton. Here's Parker leading off the 6th inning. It's interesting now. We've come up and into Matthews a couple of times. See if Solomon comes out to protect his hitters.
Well, that's what happened the last time here. One came inside, then the other team came back. Doug Harvey usually takes care of that situation.
Parker lines out to Matthews. By the way, there'll be 2 of the National League representatives in the All-Star game. Opposite right fielders.
Doug Harvey will watch that situation very closely. He's a veteran umpire behind the plate, usually does not let a game get away from him. He will immediately warn the pitcher, and also we're into a situation to where he will also throw the opposing manager out.
Stargell 0 for 2. Up and in, ball 1. So another facet of this ball game as we move into the 6th inning. Pirates leading by a run. Stargell drives it deep to center. Go ball. That ball is gone. Congratulations, Richard Bornman. Home run for Willie Stargell on a 1-0 pitch from Eddie Solomon. Solomon's first pitch was up and in, and Stargell hit the next one to straightaway center field. Congratulations, Richard Bornman of Pittsburgh. You win the Giant Eagle Home Run Sweepstakes worth $1,600 in groceries, as well as the 10 Tasty Cake family packs and an assortment of Daily Juice products available at your grocer.
Well, Richard can watch this one with delight because it goes way out of here. That wasn't over the fence. That was over the back wall. Nice changeup down and over the plate. It was just out where Willie could extend, and boy, did he give that ball a ride.
Stargell gets his 18th home run of the year. In the last 7 games, Willie's had 4 home runs. Robinson driving it to left field. It is. Get out of here. That's gone. Bill Robinson follows the Stargell home run with a dinger to left field. Back-to-back homers. Stargell's 18th. Bill moved himself back out in front with a home run. His 19th of the year. And it's now 4-1. Pirates lead Atlanta.
Well, here we're going to see it. Lumber and Lightning back-to-back. There was just no doubt about that ball. A line drive smash way over the left field fence. Boy, I'll tell you, that's fantastic to see our Buccos swing the bat like that.
No doubt about it. And I tell you what, that is the 7th time this year that the Pirates have hit back-to-back home runs. Their bullpen working. Bo McLaughlin, Bill Madlock's friend. Enrique Romo celebrating his 32nd birthday. Listening in our bullpen. Kind of looks like Keeson, Robinson, and Roberts are out on a picnic, doesn't it? The trees in the background there. So Bill Robinson, in a very special way, wishing his daughter Kelly a happy birthday on this Sunday, July 15th. Back-to-back homers by Stargell and Bill Robinson. It's now a 4-1 Pirate lead. Matlock 1 for 2 in the ballgame. Had a 2-out single in the 4th that drove in our second run. Seventh time we've hit back-to-back home runs this year. 4th time that Stargell's been involved in the back-to-back home runs. And 4th time that Bill Robinson has been involved in back-to-back dingers. Three balls and a strike on Madlock, only 1 out of the inning. Full count. 1 out, nobody on. Pirates in front of Eddie Solomon and the Braves, 4-1. Payoff pitch. Shortstop Frias. 2 out. Boy, they are really high on the job that Pepe Frias has done for their ball club. Came over in a deal sending Dave Chopper Campbell to Montreal.
With Enrique warming up in the bullpen, it's an indication that they aren't going to go that far with Bibby when he comes back out. The minute that he's in trouble, especially now with a 3-run lead, we can run through everybody in our bullpen to put this game away.
Got a couple of days off with the All-Star break coming up. Ed Ott fouls it back. Ed is 2 for 2 in the ball game. He had 2 hits last night. So Ed, he's batting .268 on the season. One ball and 1 strike. By the way, we were running down the American League scores. Kansas City snapped a 7-game losing streak today. They beat Texas 4-3.
Johnson was a loser for Texas. He's now 4-10. Paul Splittorff, an old teammate, was a winner. He's now 10-8.
Rangers got the 3 runs on 3 solo home runs. Bump Wills, Buddy Bell, and Jim Sundberg had Texas home runs. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Ed Ott. Bobby Grich hit a 2-run homer in the bottom of the 9th. The Angels beat the Yankees today 5-4.
That had to be a thriller. Guidry was the losing pitcher. He's now 6-7. Jim Barr was a winner. He's now 7-4.
Yankees had a couple of home runs losing that ball game. Chris Chambliss is 12th of the year. Jim Spencer is 9th of the year. Here it's 4-1 Pirates in the top of the 6th inning. 2 out, nobody on. Watch out. 2-2. Boston came from behind to beat Oakland 3-2 today.
Yes, Bob Stanley was a winner. He's now 11-6 and done quite a job for Boston. Rick Langford was the loser. He's now 5-10.
And Boston keeps pace with Baltimore. The Orioles beat Seattle 6-1.
Dennis Martinez was a winner. He's now 12-6. Losing pitcher was Rich Honeycutt. He's now 6-6.
Ott bounces out, and the Pirates are retired in the 6th inning. Congratulations again to Mr. Richard Bourneman. $1,600 Giant Eagle grocery winner on the Willie Stargell home run. Our next Giant Eagle sweepstakes inning will be worth $100 in Giant Eagle grocery certificates. After 5.5, it's our Buccos 4, Atlanta 1.
Here comes vacation. Folks everywhere are packing up and taking off with one of
Life is fantastic, fabulous life.
This summer, kids 17 and under with an adult can fly for half fare. Adults can save up to 40%, up to 50% on night coach. And you thought the fares were low last summer.
United's fantastic, fabulous flying fares, fly the friendly skies.
I didn't start out to be a television newsman. Like many youngsters, I dreamed of a sports career. But I also had a fascination with the law, so during college, I became a police officer. Good reporters, like good cops, are always on the job. What are you talking about today? They feel a responsibility to the people they serve. I enjoy reporting in Pittsburgh. It's a friendly town where the people just tell it like it is. They make my job easy, so I have to make it good.
Now we get set for the bottom of the 6th inning. And you're looking at young Mark Sipe, son of our TV director, Brian Sipe. Mark got a trip, and then he and his dad are going down to Florida for a couple of days, see the grandparents. Brian, by the way, is not working today's game. It kind of looks, Nellie, like Brian got tired out last night. Mark must have really put him through the paces after the game last night.
Evidently, and no, that wasn't braces on his teeth. That was the Ray bar.
Really?
No, just another director hard at work.
That's really a busman's holiday right there, isn't it? Bottom of the 6th inning. Bob Horner, Jeff Burrows, and Joe Nolan. You know, I tell you, Mark Sipes had more TV time than I've had the last couple of days. Now he's a lot better looking. I can understand that. Horner lines it foul. Strike one.
Grant Jackson working on his fielding.
Good play. Fine play. So I run in and ask Willie Stargell for a star after that play.
He said it's a little easier to make about 300 feet away.
You know, we started this broadcast, this telecast tonight from Atlanta, Georgia, and as you saw at the top of the show, Al Alexander giving Chief Nakahoma a clip job. That was the goal of the Pirates here tonight, and the Bucks have a 4-1 lead. Part of what's happened in this ball game, kind of a takeoff on that clip job, is there have been a few hitters tonight that have seen fastballs up and in. Matthews has seen a few from Bibby. Stargell saw one from the Atlanta starter Eddie Solomon, then Stargell followed that with a home run. So it may not be over. We may still see some pitches inside. Horner, in the first inning when he struck out, boy, Bibby got him with a fine breaking pitch. Let's try to think along with Bibby now. 0-2. Horner's just hit 2 shots foul down the left field line.
Well, they can use the fastball either inside or outside on this 0-2 pitch to help set up his breaking ball. We want to try and make him hit the breaking ball, but he can hit the ordinary breaking ball up and over the plate. We need to make good pitches. He uses the breaking ball to try and set things up.
The repertoire for Jim Bibby. Fastball, curve, good slider, throws the fork ball every now and then. Horner leading off the bottom of the 6th inning. It's 4-1 Pirates. Struck him out. Goodbye, Bobby. 4th strikeout for Mr. Bibby, and 1 away.
No, he wasn't looking breaking ball.
I was going to say, was he guessing? Was he looking for something else? Here's Jeff Burrows. You played with Jeff, didn't you? Were you teammates with Burrows?
Yes, Jeff was my right fielder when I played in Texas, and in 1977 he was traded over here to Atlanta. Was not too happy about the trade at the time, but has had a fine career here so far.
He's 0 for 1 in this ball game, batting with nobody on, 1 out. (4-1) Pirates lead. Burrows always worn glasses?
Yes, he has. As a matter of fact, when you take a helmet off and he's in street clothes, he looks a lot like Clark Kent, and that was more or less our name for him in Texas. Then they brought out the record, Superman, man.
Yes, yes. So you've read the book, you've seen the TV show. No doubt you've seen the movie. Now, this is Jeff Burrows. Facing Bibby, 1 out, 6th inning. Good glove save by Ed Ott. Looked a little bit like Denny Herron on that play. 2-1.
You know, I wonder if Bob Horner was thinking a little bit about the pitches inside to Matthews and wasn't too willing to go out over the plate for that Hummer.
Very possibly. 2-1 pitch. Foul back out of play. 2-2. It's the kind of ballpark that you really can't sit back and get too comfortable with any kind of lead because it just jumps out of here so much. Leading 4-1. Pirates with 8 hits, including home runs by Willie Stargell and Bill Robinson. Bucks came in with wins in 5 of their last 6 games. We've won 17 of their last 28. And the final day on this road trip. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Burroughs. The Atlanta Braves have not had a base hit since the first inning when Office doubled in Royster. Skied on the right side. Stargell. Got it. 2 away. Stennett came over to back up on the play. But it was clearly, Willie said, I got it, 2 away. Batter will be Joe Nolan. He's 0 for 1. Ball was up so high, I think Parker could have come in and made the play on it.
Home run in an elevator. Shaft.
2 down, nobody on. Last half of the 6th inning, leading 4-1. Nolan. Outside ball 1. So we'll come home and get ready for the Houston Astros. Start of an 11-game, 8-day homestand. Twilight doubleheader against Houston Thursday night. Single game Friday night. It'll be disco night. And we'll play the Astros Saturday afternoon of this week. These Atlanta Braves come in for back-to-back doubleheaders. Sunday afternoon, a week from today, 105 Twinville, and then a week from tomorrow, a Monday night twilight doubleheader. First game starts at 6:05. Then the Reds come in. Foul ball. 1-2 on Nolan. Predominantly, this Atlanta attack comes at you from the right side, but tonight they put Office and Nolan in the starting lineup, trying to get him some left-handed punch against Bibby. It's amazing how a club like this and a ball club like Montreal, they're almost lopsided to the right side.
They've gone to trying to draft the type of player that will fit their ballpark. Here you want a power-hitting outfielder especially. Knock the ball out of the ballpark.
Right side to Stennett. And the Atlanta Braves are retired in order. Jim Bibby has retired for the last 8 Atlanta batters. So after 6 innings of play, the Pirates lead by 3. Milo will be back to join you in the 7th. It's 4-1 Pirates.
John Silver.
Crispy fish, golden fries, tangy shrimp, tasty clams, tender chicken, fresh coleslaw, crunchy hush puppies, sweet corn, a second cup of coffee.
Win one of 12 sailboats. Enter at any Pittsburgh with Long John Silver's. Drawings at Oakmont Yacht Club Regatta, July 28 and 29.
Wayne Van Dyne's on vacation, so all next week we're going to be with the fabulous Marty Allen, and we've got some great shows planned for you. On Tuesday, we're going to meet Dr. Joyce Brothers. On Wednesday, Bill Burns. On Thursday, Fran Lee. And on Friday, an old favorite, Reed Cordick. I hope you'll be with me on Pittsburgh Today at 1:30 on TV2.
The next 3 innings are sponsored in part by Miller High Life. If you've got the time, we've got the beer. And in part by Gulf Oil Corporation and your local Gulf dealer. Getting ready to go to the 7th inning in Atlanta. Milo Hamilton back with Nellie Browns on the television side. Ready to take you the rest of the way, and so far, so good. And Jim Bibby, who showed him a lot of heat and a lot of good, sharp breaking pitches early, Nellie, has used the off-speed pitch effectively, especially on the big guys here in the last couple of innings.
He's been using it to set up that fastball. We see Bruce Keeson going through limbering up motions and trying to get a little work in, but Bibby's mixed his pitches pretty well. Been having problems with the breaking ball, as we've said, but he's still got that good fastball and using it effectively.
And Preston Hanna has been working in their bullpen. He has been hurt. They used him in an exhibition game the other night. Eddie Solomon is still on. Now, Solomon is due up 3rd in their 7th, so I would think undoubtedly he's working his last inning. We might be the back-to-back home run threat in this league. I tell you don't get a chance to enjoy one before you're enjoying a double dip. And this is Stennett, and he flies to right where Matthews is coming over the line, and he's got time, and he's there. And Stennett, by flying out, has gone 0 for 3 so far in the game. Now, Jim Bibby's going to bat. I really thought the way Romo had been warming up that maybe Bibby was working his last inning.
Well, I thought so, but being that they have the bottom of the lineup coming up, they'll let Jim go ahead and start the inning. Everyone now in the bullpen will start to get their work in with 3 days off. Everyone will be ready in case Jim does get into trouble.
There's a foul into the screen, and it's strike one. Bibby, who bounced out in the 3rd, struck out swinging in the 5th. We've out-hit them 8-2. We lead in the score 4-1. Each team has been guilty of one miscue. Ours didn't hurt at all. Theirs gave us a run. That certainly helped give us a run. 0-2. One and 2. Well, we got a chance, if we hang onto this one, to have had a really good road trip. There's a tapper. Third baseman's got to come on. Royster gets the convenient hop. Threw it low, almost into the runner's feet. Corner, that's a good way for a first baseman to get hurt, brother. Sticking that glove right in there. But he did handle it very well, because with Bibby pounding it down that line, he had to hear footprints.
Well, that's a runaway freight train coming at you full bore. If there's one thing that the first baseman always asks his infielders is, please do not throw the ball into the runner. If you're going to make a wild throw, make it the other side of the bag.
Because your tendency is to go for the ball. Your instinct's going to make you do that. And, boy, you get that elbow hurt, maybe a shoulder. Now they're buying some time for Bibbs here. He might have lost about a dozen pounds already.
Very easily, and I've noticed now he's changed his hat 3 times. So that means on a ratio, it's been about 5 sweatshirts.
Did you see the byplay with him and Tanner when he, on one of the caps? He evidently decided he needed a new cap, decided that he couldn't take the time to send the bat boy clear up the clubhouse to get one, so he called Tanner out, took his cap off, put his on Tanner's head, and took Chuck's out and went out to the mound and pitched. And the funniest part of it was that the cap that he put on Tanner went down over Chuck's ears. So walking out to the mound, then he was trying to stretch Chuck's to fit him. 1 ball and no strikes. Moreno's had 1 hit, driven in a run. Solomon's still popping it.
He is. Both pitchers in this type of heat and humidity have lasted very, very well.
I got a kick out of Bill Robinson hitting that homer. Stargell had tied him with the 18th. Stargell didn't get a chance to share the lead long, did he? Bouncer, foul, right side.
Didn't wait at all. Hit the first pitch out, as a matter of fact.
I tell you, remember when we were talking about Grammas? Earlier, talking about the amazing quickness of Stargell's bat, now that he's past 28. I tell you, he has hit some tape-measure jabs in this trip that were reminiscent of the kind he was hitting 10 years ago. Popped him up. And it should be an easy inning as the shortstop Frias settles under. And it's a 3-up, 3-down inning for Solomon in what I'm sure is his last inning in this game. So as we come to the middle of the 7th, a crowd of some 11,304 getting up for their stretch. The Buccos have the Braves down so far. It's the Pirates 4, Atlanta 1.
Now, the trick is, in just 3 moves, to get the light bottle caps all together, moving 2 each time. Once, twice, 3.
What? That's easy.
I can put away on a beer by the time they figure this one out. That's why I'm drinking light beer from Miller. Not only does light taste great, but it's got a third less calories than their regular beer. And it's less filling.
Hey, what's going on here?
Okay, once more. 1, 2, 3.
What? That's easy. Let me...
Light beer from Miller. Everything you always wanted in beer, and less.
Well, this is it. The Phillies are coming back to Pittsburgh, and the Pirates are calling on all you fans to turn out in force at Three Rivers Stadium. August the 3rd, the Phillies and Pirates play in a twilight doubleheader starting at 6:05. A single game follows on Saturday afternoon, followed by a big Sunday doubleheader on August 5th. The Pirates ask all their loyal fans to come out to Three Rivers to help spur the Pirates on to victory in all 5 games. You can be the Pirates' 10th man on the field and contribute to bringing the pennant back to Pittsburgh. Tickets are going fast, so get them now. Call 323-1150 for further information. The Pirates and the Phillies. Be there. Boy, when we talk about doubleheader bargain time at Three Rivers, we're not spoofing, are we, pal?
You can just pick your night just about.
Blue is my favorite color. The leadoff batter in the Atlanta 7th is the shortstop, Pepe Frias, who has flied to center and reached on an error on Madlock. It looked like Madlock, when he made the high throw that turned out to be an error in the 4th inning, maybe gave the runner Nolan too much attention. There's a high bounce. Going to have to come in. This guy can run. And he got it. To go back to the play that happened when he hit it to him in the 4th inning, did you notice that Madlock, just before he grabbed the ball, looked to see if maybe he had a chance on Nolan, thinking he maybe could get the head man. Then when he did regroup, maybe forced the ball, and it sailed on him.
Well, he did. He didn't have enough time to come up over the top to make that good, even throw. Came out of the side and just got under the ball a little bit.
All right, 1 away. Big Bibbs has retired 9 in a row here since that error. They backed him off the plate there. There's Mike Lum. He will be the pinch hitter, and he's already on deck. Skip Carey had a really merciless line on Lum. Skip, one of the broadcasters here. You probably know Mike Lum is now an accredited, if there is such a word, magician. I mean, really outstanding. Skip says, he was telling me this story, see, and he said, in fact, he has become so good, he's made his batting average disappear. All right, he falls behind here on Hubbard. 3 balls and no strikes. Come on, Bibbs, go after him here. Lum's probably going to make his living after the playing days are over because he's putting on shows now. And there's some kind of a club. Here's the pitch. Yeah, popped it in there. Now come back and get him. In Hollywood, I guess, where you have to perform in front of all the others. Well, wasn't there a TV show that had that 3 or 4 years ago? Remember that Magic Act show? Well, you have to perform there, and they have to okay you.
Yeah, they had a series called The Magician, but there was also a club, like Magician Club, something of that nature.
So he must be pretty good if they gave him the signature to do it, huh? Well, that's great. Gives him something to look forward to and work on when the playing days are over. And ended up losing him. A walk to the number 8 hitter, and Bibbs would like to work on him again. We're going to look at Mike Lum now. All right, Jackson is the lefty. Romo is the right-hander. And Chuck Tanner's on his way. It may be here that Bibbs is going to get the night off. That's the 4th walk by Bibby to go with 4 strikeouts. They have not had a hit since the 1st inning, by the way. So after the little shaky start that he had, he has really pitched a good, strong game.
Chuck Tanner right here now is wanting an honest answer. He said, hey, big boy, you pitched one heck of a ball game. how you feeling, and be honest with me. If you're getting a little tired, I want to know. And sure enough, he said he is getting a little tired, and we're going to see the left-hander, Grant Jackson.
So Bibbs worked 6 1/3. Retired 5 in a row at one stretch. Just recently retired 9. And Bibby is headed to the shower, and Grant Jackson coming in. So old Buck will hope to come on and put out the lights. Jackson's coming on for the 42nd time this year. It breaks him out of a tie with Romo and slips him just 5 behind to Colby, who leads with 47. Jackson having a really fine first half. 5 wins, 2 losses, and 10 saves. And there was one streak there, boy, where he was the man in that bullpen. You know, we talked to Grant Jackson and asked him what kind of a player it takes to consistently come into pressure situations.
Well, Nelly, you know, as being a pitcher yourself and then part-time relieving, that you just have to be able to come in and throw strikes, and you can't really get yourself up for a game because you don't know whether you're going to be in it or not. So you just have to sit there and play it by ear, and the man calls down until you get warmed up. Even though you might get warmed up the first time, you might not even come in the game. So you just got to play it by ear. The only time I really start getting up is when I take my little walk from the bullpen to the mound is when I start thinking about the game. Otherwise, I don't even think about the game. I just sit there and watch it. Because, you know, I can't worry about something I'm not in yet, you know. So I just come in and try to throw strikes, hope to hit it at somebody and get him out.
All right, Buck, thank you for the chat. And now he's warming it up. And Mike Lum, who had been announced, and that was the... And, of course, Chuck Tanner waited for that announcement. Now Lum is out of the game because they're going to go to Spikes. Spikes was a pinch hitter once in this series and failed. He's 0 for 3 against us for the year. And Spikes, who's been their pinch hitter deluxe since they've been winning lately, he's batting .316. 18 hits, 7 of them doubles, 3 homers, and 18 RBIs. He had one stretch there where every time he stepped up as a pinch hitter, he was delivering. Get a guy with a hot hand, you stay right with him. So Jackson will be looking at a right-hand pinch hitter, and Spikes is ready to step in with a runner at first, Hubbard. There's one away. You're in a 7th inning. The Pirates are leading 4-1. The Bucks about hit them 8-2. And right now, the buck of the Bucks is Grant Jackson, and he is ready to work in relief. That ball popped away, but Ott came right back. Now the crowd wondering why Hubbard didn't make a move. I got a feeling Hubbard thought that was a foul ball.
Either that or the ball didn't look like it was going to go as far away from Ed Ott as it did. But he's 3 runs down. He's really got nowhere to go, and he cannot really gamble to have it to be thrown out of second base.
And their new pitcher is walking down here also. It looks like Skoke, and it is. All right, a little extra time. Ott's having a little trouble with his mask. Pirates fell behind in the first inning, but battled back to tie it in the third. One in front in the fourth with 1. Got 2 homers in the 6th to move out to the 4-1 advantage, and that's a ball. Makes it 1-1 on Charlie Spikes. He's an outfielder. Grant Jackson in that pose to the knees and sailing fastball, wasn't it? Now Tekulve has joined Romo in the bullpen. Boy, what a surge Tekulve had in Cincinnati and Houston. Now the crowd's starting to rattle it here. They want Spikes to deliver. Boy, that is just heat against a guy who was swinging for the downs.
That's exactly what Grant needs to do right here. This is not the tying or winning run at the plate. He's got the opportunity now to challenge him. I like him to get the ball in just a little more because Charlie Spikes likes to extend his hands out over the plate.
All right, Spike's going to call time and step out a moment. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out, 1 base runner. Hubbard at first with a walk. That walk was the one that sent Bibby to the shower. Well, he'll enjoy that shower after working in this heat. There's a high bounce foul down the left side. See how that ball jumps off this infield? This place is used for so many things. Soccer, baseball, road running races. It never gets a chance to recover. And with the hot sun that beats down on it all the time, you beat a ball into it like he just did and like Office did in the first inning, it jumps. Oh, boy, was that close. Grant wanted that call and didn't get it. Oh, he had it by him, too.
That's the pitch that he wanted to make. He wanted to try and get the out right there. That was the fastball right in on his hands. He'll probably try and make the same pitch again.
All right, it's a full count. Payoff pitches due. Let's see how they handle Hubbard at first. He's not going. Foul back. Bang. I hope we still got a crowd mic. It sounded like it broke into a million pieces. Remember the old Tom and Jerry cartoon when they used to hit the cat in the face and the teeth would... That's what that sounded like. Oh, boy, he got away with a sailing fastball. Spikes anxious, chased it. There is a big pitch and a big out.
He sure did, figuring he had to come in with a fastball and just was not selective, little anxious, went for a bad pitch. We got a little break right there.
All right, now Royster will be coming up. Hubbard still at first with 2 down. We're in the 7th. We showed you Skoke as he came down. He'll be their new pitcher. Devine has gotten up in their bullpen also, along with another right-hander. Able to spot the number, Doug. He hadn't turned enough to... I know Devine is the one toward the foul line. Might be Preston Hanna again, but I think it's too tall for Hanna. He won't turn enough to give you the number. Fouled into the screen. Well, no matter. We know Skoke's going to be the next pitcher, so no sense having a... Rizzolera. They had to nickname him Alphabet Soup. Left field. I don't think anybody's going to get it. The home run. Boy, they break out in strange places, don't they? It's Royster's first home run of the year and makes it a 1-run game. And Chuck Tanner's on his way.
Here we're going to see it. It's a fastball right down the chute. Royster gets all of it, hits it way back. That's the exciting part about this ballpark. Anybody has a capability of hitting a home run here, and you have to bear down every pitch. Bill Robinson watch it fall over the fence.
Ed Ott and Chuck Tanner going to be waiting on a new pitcher because Grant Jackson... It's going to be Enrique Romo, by the way, who pitched here Friday night and pitched quite a while in that game because we didn't have anybody left. And he was only the second pitcher. That may sound peculiar to you that nobody was left, but the way we were hurting and nobody available as a long man, and then they got the big lead, so you just didn't tear up the staff and left him on. But Grant Jackson went from one extreme to the other. He struck out a dangerous pinch hitter and then let a ping pong hitter take him downtown and make it a 1-run game. So Royster with the 2-run homer makes it a 4-3 ball game. It's up to Romo to shut the door here.
Well, as you mentioned that Jackson just went ahead of Romo in appearances. Romo just now catches him. This will be his 42nd appearance. He's now 4-3 with a 2.59 ERA. He's finished 12 games this year. Has 2 saves. This will be his 59th inning pitched.
Now they've got Garber. Now that it's a 1-run game, they get the twister up. Now Bruce Keeson has joined Tekulve in our bullpen. So the 3-run lead quickly disintegrated. Now it's a 1-run lead. Romo will be looking at Gary Matthews. The home run ball by Jackson, by the way, was his 7th. That's more than he threw all last year, and we're only to the All-Star break here. So Romo tuning it up. Gary Matthews standing in the on-deck circle watching him. So right now, the back-to-back homers in the 6th inning by Stargell and Robinson. Robbie's homer that followed Captain Willie's is the run that has us in front in this 4-3 game. Royster's homer really tightened it up. All right, Matthews coming out. He struck out, he's walked, and he's bounced to third. He's 0 for 2 officially. When he walked in the 3rd inning, he also stole a base. Here's Bobby Cox along with Bob Horner. Horner would be due up after Office, who is in the on-deck circle. Ski Reich. Romo, wasn't it Matthews that he worked to here on Friday night? Yes, it was, when he threw about 4 eephus pitches to him. It was 13-4 at the time. Might as well have a little fun while you're out there, said the happy Mex. Center field, Moreno toward right center. He's letting Parker know he's there, and he grabs it. Romo comes on and gets Matthews, and the side is retired. And now the Pirate bats have to rattle again. It's a 2-run inning on 1 hit, a home run by Royster, his first of the year. No errors and nobody left. So we're going to go to the 8th inning. And the Pirate bats need to extend the lead that now is back to 1. Pittsburgh 4, Atlanta 3. And a good inning for it. Let's get some more long balls and have another Giant Eagle inning. We had one when the back-to-back homers were hit. Now this is it for Bessie Burrell of Pittsburgh. The Pirate can hit a home run during the top of the 8th. Bessie, you're going to get $100 worth of groceries at Giant Eagle. And we've got Foley, Parker, Stargell, Robinson, and Madlock due against Skoke. Let's see if we can get something going here and give Romo and the bullpen that's waiting something to work on as we go to the 8th inning. Pirates 4 runs, 8 hits. Atlanta 3 runs on only 3 hits. When Royster hit the homer, they hadn't had a hit since the 1st inning. So Skoke is the new pitcher. Pitched briefly last night with 1 effective inning, making his 38th appearance. 1 win, 3 losses. Thrown 6 gopher balls. He has 2 saves. And it's a ball to Tim Foley, who is 0 for 3 today and has gone 3 for 12 in the series, has driven in a couple of runs in the series. That's a foul ball. 1 ball, 1 strike. Parker's 1 for 3. He's on deck. Stargell's 1 for 3. Is he ever? That's what Walter Olson used to call when he'd look at Frank Howard, say, chop that into 4, and it's 4 singles. You don't see many hit in the center field seats here. Bouncer short. Frias throwing, gets Foley, and it's 1 away in the 8th. So Pepe Frias. Dave Parker had a base hit in the 4th and then pulled a running rock, and he knew it. Took too big a turn at first on a ball that dropped a little Texas League single in the shallow left center, and Burroughs just quickly grabbed it and fired to Horner, and Parker knew he'd been had. There was no way to get there. 1 hit today, 3 hits in the series. He's batting for Bessie Burrell as we play Giant Eagle home run sweepstakes in Atlanta. Facing the left-hander, Skoke. Fouled off. Stargell due up next, then Bill Robinson. We've had RBIs from Moreno, a big hit in the 3rd that got us to a tie at 1-1. Madlock got a base hit in the 4th to drive in Robinson. That gave us our lead, 2-1. Then the back-to-back round trippers by Stargell and Robinson in the 6th that made it 4-1, but Royster's 2-run homer in the 7th got it back, nip and tuck, 4-3 Pirates. The pitch. That'll make it 1-1. And there's a little hello from the folks in the pavilion in right center field. Left center. Burroughs in track of that one. And it's 2 away in the Pirate 8th. So Parker goes 1 for 4 in this one so far. And it'll bring up Stargell, who took Eddie Solomon. Well, Eddie Solomon is from Warner Robins. That's down around Macon. If Eddie bothered to sign that ball before he threw it, it might have been delivered to his front door in Warner Robins. Boy, I tell you, he really cranked up. Office he didn't even bend, did he? That's a strike on Captain Willie. Stargell now with 18 home runs.
Office could just stand and watch that with great envy.
Second baseman Hubbard will throw to Horner. 3 up and 3 down, and no home run was hit during this Giant Eagle sweepstakes inning, but no one ever loses here. Our contestant, Bessie Burrow, will receive a certificate for 10 Tasty Cake family packs and an assortment of Daily Juice products available at your grocer. Our next Giant Eagle sweepstakes will be worth $200. Go to the bottom of the 8th with the Pirates 4 and the Braves 3.
After all these years, I still like working out. But what I really like is the beer that's waiting for me when it's over. And if you work out the way we do, there better be a lot of beer waiting. That's why we drink light beer from Miller. Light has 1/3 less calories than regular beer. That's less filling, and it tastes great. Take it from a guy who works out a lot. Could really use one right now.
There you go, Bruce.
Light beer from Miller. Everything you always wanted in a beer, and less.
Can you imagine somebody getting paid to come out here every day to the ballpark? It's unbelievable. I have to have the most fantastic job in the world. I love getting to know all the ball players. I like to participate. I'm the kind of person, I guess, that never really grew up. That's one of the great things about my job. It's one of the great things about Pittsburgh. You can participate. You can watch. Whatever it is you want to do in the way of sports, you can do it in Pittsburgh. So we can bounce, we can shoot it, we can kick it, we can do it all right here in Pittsburgh. Hey, I just have a great job. I get to do it all.
In the Atlanta 8th, they've got Roland Office, Bob Horner, and Jeff Burrows do against Enrique Romo. Wayne and Kathy McDonald visiting from Bradford, PA, rooting for the Bucks to take this series. Howie Millick and John Bellotti from Washington, PA. They're the folks who have that Think pennant banner that's out at Three Rivers all the time. So they've come a ways to cheer for their Bucks also. You look at Enrique Romo getting ready. And for the last pitch, instead of burning the fastball like most guys do, he throws the over the rainbow job. Don Vassell and Keith Munchauer from Tarentum came down for the weekend to take a look at their Buccos on the road. Russ Wise, who used to live in the Pittsburgh area, lives in Atlanta now, and said, hey, my Bucks are in town. I'm going out to see him, and he's been here the whole weekend. All right, Roland Office, who had a Baltimore chop double for an RBI in the first inning. Since then has flied right and lined hard to Stargell at first. With the 1-run difference and in the 8th inning, Stargell is playing just off the line at first, and with Office's speed, Madlock guarding the line a little and up in front of the bag. All right, Romo working. It might come up there with everything but the kitchen sink on it.
You can probably count the revolutions on the ball as that ball comes up. That slow screwball. Then he might come back with a hard screwball.
Horner is on deck. We're in the Atlanta 8th. Royster's homer got it a little testy here. Hit it with a man aboard. And in this ballpark, you got to hold your breath. All right, everybody's ready again. You almost got to watch Romo's feet to really fully appreciate all the things that he does.
He throws everything at you. The glove, and then the leg, and then the shoulder, and all of a sudden, boom, there comes the ball.
He's in front of Office 0-2.
He might get another one. Aha!
3 straight. And what a pitch to come back with, Nelson Briles, because I got to believe that Office figured after looking at 2 of them, he was not going to see one there.
He says, surely he won't throw another one, and if he does, he's not going to get it over. And he takes it, he can't believe it. Ball's right there. Oh, my.
All right, Enrique. Now you got the guy with the quick bat up here. Bob Horner. He had 3 hits in the first 2 games in this series. They were bombs. He's gone 0 for 3 today, all against Bibby. Struck out twice. Well, there's 4 pitches and 4 strikes. Burroughs due up next. Romo is our 3rd pitcher. Starter was Bibby, who pitched a good, strong game. Then that backs him off. I just got to believe in this heat and the way the Big Bibs was drenched out there, just a case of running out of gas, don't you?
Running out of gas a little bit, but also we have the luxury of so many pitchers in the bullpen. He doesn't have to go far.
And Jackson came on, and then Romo. Toward the hole. Foley's got to let her fly, and a good strong hose will do it for you in that spot. That's the thing about Foley, that if he has a point that you would bring to your mind first with him, not to count the fact that he's hitting better than we thought he would, or the fact that he's played hurt, those things are things that are great to know and have on your side. But the fact that he makes the good, steady play.
That's exactly what Chuck Tanner told him when he first came over. We don't need the exceptional play from you. We just want you to steady the infield and make that day in, day out play, just as he has done there. Don't throw the ball away. Give us that steadiness on the infield.
All right, here is Burroughs. Burroughs has walked. In the 4th inning, Bibby, I thought, made a really great hustling play to throw him out. In the 6th inning, he popped up. Boy, what a bender he put in that one. And that line drive that Burroughs hit in the 4th inning at Bibby and hit his glove so hard that it rolled to the first baseline, the reaction of Bibby to come clear over and then have to even take a look because there was Burroughs back between him and Stargell and still threw him out. That was a big play.
Well, and Willie made a fine move, too, in that he crossed over the bag, got in foul territory, and gave him a big target to throw to. That's what really made the play, enabled him to make the throw past Burroughs, the runner.
But the minute the ball rolled as far as it did, I really thought Bibby coming over that far would not be able to get there in time, but he just simply came down off that mound like a big cat and did it. All right, Enrique. You got him in a hole 0-2 here. Nobody on, 2 away. We're in the bottom of the 8th inning. Romo trying to protect a Pirate 1-run lead in a 4-3 game. Guys in the control room in Pittsburgh are probably up to nail-biting time with what's supposed to come on in about 33 minutes. If this game gets tied, see you later. All right, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Burroughs batting. Nolan would be next. Alley-oop. 2-2. They got 2 hits in the 1st inning and scored a run. They got 1 hit in the 7th and scored 2. But that was a homer by Royster with Hubbard on with a walk. Royster waited 91 games to hit 1 this year. Couldn't he have waited till Thursday? What's 3 more days? 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 down. Oh, was that close. Romo shaking his head. He thought he had him. Now it's a full count. He had him 0-2. You cannot make a mistake on this guy in this park. And you know on 3-2, you better make a good pitch. Enrique's stars are showing. All right. This could be a big pitch in this game. Ended up walking him. First walk by Romo. 5th walk of a Brave in the game. And he's going to get runner Barry Bonnell will run for Burroughs. Barry Bonnell does have good speed. He can play all the outfield spots, so then he will stay on and play left field. There's Joe Nolan, who has popped up, walked, and bounced out. He's 0 for 2. So the 2-out walk to Burroughs. And the pinch runner, Bunnell, is at first. Romo had worked long and hard with that rosin bag, and with that walk, Tekulve, who had been standing in the bullpen, now starts to warm up again. And they've got Joey McLaughlin warming in their bullpen again. Pitched briefly last night. Romo steps away. Mentioned about Bunnell's speed. He does have good speed. He runs well. See if they've done any running with him. Well, he's tried 5 times, been successful once. You wouldn't expect him to be running here, although if he wanted to try to open up something, just depends what Bobby Cox's thinking is right here. 1 ball and no strikes. Pepe Frias, the shortstop, is on deck. Both bullpens are busy. And there's Kent Tekulve loosening in ours. After the home run by Royster with a man on, changes the complexion of the game. And the bullpens have been busy on both sides almost ever since.
Willie Stargell, playing at first base, will not break off the bag as quickly now. He will stay on the line so a double doesn't score the run.
Throw down. He did have him running, and he nailed him. A caught stealing on a 2-6. Boy, does that help you. And we're going to get another look at that. Let that thing fly. Right down where Tim could handle it beautifully. Put it right on him. Let him slide into your glove. And it's no runs, no hits. No errors, a walk, a caught stealing, and nobody left. We're going to go to the 9th. The Bucks are looking for insurance with this score. Pirates 4, Braves 3.
Here's to, here's to the praise on the block. Here's to the dead and the locks. Here's to the new and the old, steeples of green and gold. Here's to Green Tree and Shady Side. Here's to toasting the groom and the bride. From cities to farmlands to Mountain View, we're happy to say here's to you. United we stand, divided we fall.
Sonny and Cher together again in a special event on the next Mike Douglas Show. But is it the same?
We can get along really, really well. I mean, we got along really well when we were married.
She reacts differently, but everybody else
How does she react differently?
Tomorrow afternoon at 4:30 on TV2.
There's a new left fielder for the Atlanta Braves. Bunnell, who ran for Burroughs, will stay in the game, and he will play left field. And there is Barry Bunnell, number 2. The new pitcher is Garber, and in talking with reliever Garber, we asked Gene what goes through his mind when he comes in to face Pirates like Parker, Stargell, and the rest of the Bucco attack.
Well, a lot of times that'll depend a little bit on the situation. Hopefully, when you do have to come in, you have a 2 or 3 run lead and nobody on base so that you can get away with one mistake. That's, I guess, the ideal situation is being able to come into a game, make one mistake, and still be in the ball game, still save it. So hopefully when I come in, I'll be able to throw strikes, try and get them to hit the ball on the ground and get the outs.
And Garber is on, and Nellie, what's he been doing?
Well, this is going to be his 45th appearance. He has a 3.6 ERA. He's 5-9. He's got 18 saves, of course, which leads their staff.
All right, he's ready to work to Bill Robinson. Got a single in the home, and he pops a strike on the outside corner for his opening pitch. Walton Gladys Leggard from Irwin, PA, and their sons Ronnie and Dave on vacation on their way to Bradenton and said, hey, why not stop here? Good stopping off point. And they've had a chance to see their Bucks for the weekend. So they go right from looking at the Pirates here, down by Pirate City, won't they? Robinson, in the second inning, was thrown out on quite a play by Frias in the hole at short, then singled in the 4th, and with a delay on a steal, set up the chance for us to go in front, stole a base. We talked about that a couple of times recently, Nelson Browse, about Robinson being maybe one of the best at that. He just has a knack for it, doesn't he?
Well, he does, and he picks a situation to where he's watched the second baseman, shortstop. Maybe they're scratching the ground, aren't paying attention. and he sets it up very well.
There's a Texas League bloop in right center, and it's going to be a base hit, and Robinson's got his third hit in a row. So I'm sure daughter Kelly is celebrating her birthday, saying, "Hey, Dad, you're doing quite a job." That's the first hit off Garber. It is the 9th Pirate hit of the game. And we've got Bill Madlock coming up. Bill had a base hit and drove in a run in the 4th inning. He's had 5 hits in the series. Well, I tell you, another run wouldn't hurt a thing. Pirates are leading 4-3. We've out-hit them 9-3. An error aside. They've used Solomon, Skoke, and Garber. We've used Bibby, Jackson, and Romo. Throw to first, not close. We've had 2 homers, Stargell and Robinson. They've had 1, Royster. So if you're joining us a little late on a Sunday, and I guess people driving back after a weekend away could be just joining us. There's a check swing foul into the screen. Hope that little capsule puts you right up to date in the 4-3 Pirate lead as we try to take the series. This is the rubber game. Frank Haley from Pittsburgh, and also Ensign's John Haley watching their buckos on the road. And Bunny Bishop watching us here and says Mom and Dad are watching home in Pittsburgh. Boy, if all the people are watching that we've been told by notes here today, our ratings have zoomed. We'll take them. 1 ball and 1 strike. Well, I tell you, this road trip, I think this is our 9th telecast. Oh, we have had some good ones. See, we won the televised game a week ago today at Cincy, didn't we? There's a little popper out into shallow center, and it's going to drop. It's the old hit where they ain't, huh? We've had 2 in a row, but tomorrow morning you'll pick up the paper, and the players will look at them and say, "Hey, I had 2 more line drives last night."
We demonstrated our long ball power. Now we're going with our flare power.
And we won 2 in Houston, 1 last night. So what are we going for here in a row in the old tube? 5er, huh? All right. Nelly just voted for it. Here's that out. He's had 2 for 3. We've got 2 on and nobody out. Couple of hits against one of the fine relievers, Gene Garber. Bunts it up in the air, and Royster looking, but no place to throw in order to double anybody up. Ed Ott is so burned up, I thought he was going to break the bat. He may yet. Saw the runners at second and first. There's the panoramic view, and here it is again.
Well, it's a pretty good pitch to bunt, but Ed just drops that barrel head a little bit, bunts the ball up in the air, and it's going to be an easy play for Royster at third base. Runners alertly stay close to the bag so they aren't doubled off.
Mickey Mailer, a lefty, is tuning it up in their bullpen. Rennie Stennett is the batter. Rennie's gone 0 for 3 today. He's been limited to 2 hits and 11 at-bats. He's hit the ball better on this trip than he had before it, and he has made some excellent plays in the field on this trip. As far as Phil Garner, I tell you, the way that thumb is, I don't know when he'll play again, tell you the truth. One ball, no strikes to Rennie. Enrique Romo is coming out on deck. Let's look to their 9th the moment. They will have, there's Enrique. Nolan will be due, then Frias, then Hubbard. There's a little tapper foul that had already hit him and then bounced off. They've already used Lum and Spikes. Bunnell is not available as a pinch hitter because he ran, and since he ran for the guy, well, in fact, he was the last out as the pinch runner stealing. So Darrell Cheney would be a possibility in the inning. Bruce Benedict, right-hand batting catcher. Not a heck of a lot more, is there? Well, Pocoroba, but he's ailing. There are the runners at second and first. Rowdy at second, Madlock at first, 1 away. In fact, one of the possibilities when Murphy comes back in order to keep Hubbard is that they might disable Pocoroba. That's a shot. A diving third baseman couldn't head it off. Robbie will walk home. The throw towards second base is out at second. But Robinson scored, but there was only one out. Madlock over to third. Here's another look at it. Boy, just inside that bag.
It was a line shot on the ground, right down the line. We see trying to get over. Bunnell, I believe it is, trying to get over, makes a beautiful throw right on the money, and Rennie was just caught trying to stretch it into the double. On the play, Madlock goes to third.
Rennie does get credit for the RBI that gives us the 2-run advantage. There's Madlock at third base. And John Milner is going to bat here. So we're going to try to get another one. It's a 5-3 ball game, Pirates. John Milner played last night to give Stargell the night off on a night when Milner just wasn't well enough to be playing. He's had some kind of a bug, and he's weaker than a cat. And they haven't quite figured it out yet. But here he is in the pinch hitter's role. That ball's going to roll away. We got a chance to steal one, and we did. Good heads-up base running, and I hope Madlock's all right. I think maybe he just jarred himself a little bit. But boy, Madlock, the minute he saw that ball get behind Nolan, he just scooted in.
Well, we're going to see the pitch. The ball is outside. Oops, just muffed it. Ball gets by him all the way to the screen. Garber's going to cover the plate. It's going to be a close play, and in comes Madlock. Those feet going in, and I think Gardner came right down. Yes, he did. Came right down on his ankle with his spike.
There's a strike to John, so we get the run on the pass ball. It's a 6-3 game. Oh, that'll look better going to the bottom of the inning, I'll tell you. Bounced foul down the first base side. When we leave here after the game, Milner, by the way, will stay here for 3 days. This is his home. He said, they were kidding him a little bit. He says, I'm going to stay right here and enjoy that good home cooking. Well, I tell you, when you travel as much as we do, that home cooking is a luxury. I almost reached across, but laid it off. We will get a new pitcher in the 9th inning because Milner is batting for Romo. Oh, he almost took his kneecap off. And John's looking out at him. John's not particularly happy about that one, is he? Omar Moreno would like another bat. When you're going good, you want to get up to that plate, don't you? Payoff. That'll be foul. But John almost as much as saying, throw another one in here. After that near miss on his shins. Birthdays of Mrs. Elsie Wayne, 81 years old. Mrs. Clara Rapp, 89 years old of Pittsburgh. Tell us they watch and listen to every game. Their daughter Evelyn Rapp from Zelienople was nice enough to tell us about it. Hope they're enjoying it again today. And he ends up walking John Milner. So, Gene Garber, who's supposed to be their bullpen magician, having some troubles. Matt Alexander will run for the Hammer. There he is, a little speedster from Shreveport. That's the first walk by Garber. That might be the first pass we've gotten all day. The only one I have on my card. What about Nellie Bryles' card? First one?
First one.
All right. All right, here's Omar Moreno, 1 for 4. Drove in a run in the 3rd inning. At that time, it was a big hit because it was a 2-out RBI single. Throw over. Matt makes it back. Hey, Garber made it close. We will get a new pitcher in the bottom of the 9th when they will have Nolan Frias and Hubbard due. We went over the possible pinch hitters a moment ago, so we'll be watching that as they come on. But right now, the Bucks are still trying to put some insurance on the board as Garber works on Alexander. It's been a 2-run inning. That's put it back to a 3-run advantage. Pirates 6, Braves 3. We've outhit them 11 2-3. Pitch out. 1 ball, no strikes. Yeah, we could be a merry band of bucks getting on that charter after this one. We hang on. Would have given you a 9-5 road trip. And, Bo, when you go on a tough 2-week trip, come home 9-5, you got to be happy with the results. Because you went into St. Louis and cooled off a hot club, took 3 out of 4. Went to Cincy, played them tough, lost 3 out of 4. And Stargell's bat really gave us a lift. No telling, you know, in that home run got us that game in Cincy. I think it set the stage for what we did in Houston.
But it did. Went down. You knew that our backs were against the wall. We hadn't won many games in Houston. They've always been tough in their park. And that was a lift I think we needed going in there.
Working on him again. Time called by Alexander. He's hit that dirt so much he's got to dust himself off a little bit. Then you come in here, a club that's been playing well in this park. They've been playing much better the last 3 or 4 weeks, and if you could take 2 out of 3 from them, cool off their bats a little bit because they've been scoring. Look what they did here Friday night, 13 runs. That'll tell you something. Ball. And it's 2-0 to the Antelopes. Foley would be next. That's Mickey Mailer again. And remember, these Braves will be at our ballpark next Sunday for a doubleheader and a Monday doubleheader on the 23rd. Keeps working on him. And speaking of that doubleheader on Monday the 23rd, oh, and not only will you get a chance to see 2 fine big league ball games, but one of the great shows, I think, Shrine-O-Rama. The runner going, you couldn't throw him out with a Gatling gun. Boy, oh boy, that little guy can scoot. Alexander gets his 5th stolen base in 5 tries. Here it is again.
We're going to see that he gets a good jump. It's a fine throw, but he just beats the play.
When he takes about a step, he's gone. I had him on the other night. He said, I probably can't outrun Moreno, but I'm quicker than he is. Okay. All right, now. Bounce foul first base side. I want to talk about that Monday night doubleheader, the 23rd, a week from tomorrow night. All the shrine temples and clubs in the 5-state area are going to bring their folks out, put on one of those Shrine-O-Rama shows between games. That is always colorful.
Boy, I tell you, you'll know they're in town, too, because they're not the quietest bunch in the world.
They have fun, don't they?
Yes, sir.
And if money goes to those Shriner hospitals, they have the fun, and they do it, and they put on good shows. A little pop out into shallow left center again. Yeah, drop in. Let's get another run. Alexander, by stealing, was in scoring position, came on, and it's now a 7-3 game. And Omar Moreno gets yet another hit and another RBI. Garber's probably saying to himself, what's going on? What would you say, 3 of the 4 hits have been Texas Leaguers?
They haven't exactly been starched, if that's what you're referring to, but we'll take them any way we can get them. We want any game and every game.
All right, that's 3 runs in the inning, and now a 7-3 lead. And with Tim Foley due, and Moreno at first, let the old Antelope, steal another one. Let's get him up close to 40 for the All-Star break. He's had one today. It gives him 38. He's going to be on target to set another Pirate record because he set the new one last year with 71. I'd say he's got a heck of a shot to break it. He's going. Belly flopper, stolen base. It gives him 2 today and 39 for the year and 7 against Atlanta. Look at that break.
Good lead, good jump. The catcher, you know, his arm's going to be loose by the end of this game. He just flat outruns the play.
It's our 4th stolen base of this game. Buccos have got their game going right now, haven't they? Foley take the 0-1 and lace it foul down the left side. Foley's gone hitless today. Foley will be one of the Bucks that will be more than glad to enjoy 3 off days without putting on those socks and tying up those spikes.
It'll give him a chance not only for Tim, but all of our players to have those bumps and bruises, a chance for that to heal a little bit and come out refreshed, ready for that second half.
went to the crossfire motion and got him. That'll end the inning, but Garber had a rough inning. We picked up 3 runs on 4 hits. A pass ball, a couple of stolen bases. There weren't any errors. 1 man was left. And I'll tell you this, Tekulve's got something to work with now. We're going to the bottom of the 9th. Hang on, Buccos. Take this series. Go to the All-Star break 7 over, which would be our new high water mark for the year. It's the Pirates 7 and the Braves 3. Kent Tekulve coming on in the 9th inning. Boy, I tell you, he did some pitching in Cincinnati and in Houston. And got himself up to the 13 save mark. This will be his 48th appearance. 3 wins, 5 losses, ERA 3.73. Kent is practically on target to the record-breaking year he had as a Buck last year. Only thing he's not happy with, says that ERA is too high. But I'll tell you, those fluctuate even when you're having different kind of years as a relief pitcher, because 1 or 2 bad outings can make it balloon. There's a fly ball to right field. Should be a really easy play here, and if it ever comes down, he'll catch it. Parker grabs it, and Nolan is out 1 away. When you come in out of that pen, it doesn't take many appearances to make that thing jump at ERA, does it?
You only have to give up 1 or 2 runs
in a third of an inning.
That's right, and your ERA can jump high.
All right, this is Pepe Frias. We're 2 outs away from coming home 7 over. Wouldn't that be something? Boy, a 9-5 road trip. You'll take that the rest of the year and let the rest of the clubs take their chances. We were 3-1 in St. Louis, 1-3 in Cincy, 3-0 in Houston. Win this one, you're 2-1. Up. Now, is the pitcher going to cover? Yes, he is. We'll take it. Beautifully done. The ball caromed off Stargell's glove. Stennett had gone to back up on the play, and Tekulve did his part by being there to take the throw.
Well, here it is. Looks like it's going to be a base hit. Willie flags it down somewhat. Stennett very alertly backing up the plate. Leads Tekulve with a good throw. Kent very, very alertly covers the bag. We got that big out.
Boy, oh boy. 2 away. And here is Hubbard. Boy, the Teak's gotten 2 outs here before he could bat an eye. Hubbard today is 0 for 2. He walked in the 7th, was on when Royster homered. But the Bucks went out and got 3 insurance runs in the top of this inning, fouled it off of an instep. We've out-hit them 12-3. Leading the score at 7-3. And if you like what you've seen on this road trip, the way these Buccos are playing, you ought to get out to Three Rivers Thursday and welcome them home. Let's see, 3, 4, 7, 9. 9-5 road trip. That's what it's going to be. Here's the pitch, and it's the ball. Okaroba would be next. Sawed off that handle. 2-2. All right, Teak. Send everybody home happy. That should be a ball that Foley can put in his hip pocket, but I'd rather have him put it in his glove. And the ball game is over. What a job Tekulve did. He made it look like a piece of cake. 3 up and 3 down. And the Bucks have taken the series 2-1 after losing the opener. This team that bounces back has bounced back. And I'll tell you this, they really played some baseball on this trip. They are very much in this pennant picture, and they're going to continue it at home when Thursday rolls around with the Houston Astros. And Nellie Browse, we wanted Bibby to give us the good, strong innings that he could. He did, and the bullpen did their job, too.
Boy, Jim just typified what our pitching staff has done the whole road trip. Everyone has really contributed. Our relievers have come in and done the job. Not only have they done the job, but our starters have got into the late innings. Jim Bibby just follows John Candelaria's excellent job last night. We look like things are headed into the All-Star break in just great shape. People are leaving a little disappointed tonight, but not the Bucco fans and not for us. This is going to be a good plane flight home, Milo. I'll tell you, I'm really excited about the Buccos' chances this second half.
Well, I tell you, when we went on this trip, we kind of thought it was an important trip to do well. I mean, you can say, well, that about any trip, but the situation we were in and the way we were bunched with Montreal, the Cubs now, who have been a surprising team because they've been playing much better the last 2 weeks. And then you take a look at the Phillies, who are starting to do some things with their bats. They're scoring runs again. And those St. Louis Cardinals are not a washout yet either. Every time you think you got them back of you, here they come. And as a result, they want to see your gleaming face and your Pepsodent smile. As a result, when you go on this kind of a trip and do some of the things we talked about in the last couple of innings, going to St. Louis, a club that had been scoring a lot of runs, and take 3 out of 4. You lose 3 out of 4 in Cincy in that park against that Cincinnati club. Sure, it was tough to do it, but we talked about Stargell's home run giving us the big bang in the lift. Then you go to Houston. What do? You beat Andujar, who had just been named to the All-Star team. You beat James Rodney Richard, who the last 2 or 3 years may be one of the best pitchers in our league. Then the next night, you beat the winningest pitcher in the league, Joe Niekro. Now, we show them the resiliency of this club again, because Friday night, you just simply got hammered. You know, you give up 13 runs, but it doesn't seem to matter to this club. If it's a close win or a big win, they just have that little something that's characteristic of Pirate teams that you were on. The losses don't bother you. Sure, they might eat you up for a few minutes, or maybe into the night as you go home and your wife would wish you'd forget about a game. But you bounce back, and we did here. And we cooled off a Brave team that's been scoring a lot of runs. What did they get? 5 hits last night and only 3 hits tonight. That's cooling off some bats.
Well, we've said that our pitching has done the job. And you know what I really liked about the game tonight was the fact that we used our total attack. Stolen bases contributed to our game, and, of course, the home runs and the base hits. Everything really worked together for a well-coordinated attack, and that's what I think we're going to have to do to win the pennant the second half.
And, of course, we get the good pitching from Bibby. The bullpen came on and did a good job. The big bombs from Stargell and Robinson back-to-back. Stargell goes to the break with 18, Robbie with 19 to lead the club. Royster homered for them. And the total board that looked like this, we get 7 runs on 12 hits and 1 error. Bibby got the win 5-2. And for the Braves, who lost the series 2-1, 3 runs on only 3 hits and 1 error. After that first shaky inning, Bibbs really got tough and retired 9 in a row at one stretch. And then Romo and Tekulve nailed it down after Jackson gave up the home run ball. But we win it 7-3, and boy, you get that insurance, and then see Tekulve come in and just put the lid on the coffin for you. All right, we're going to be back with you at home on Thursday. Hope you're going to get out and welcome this ball club home, and that winds up Pirate baseball for tonight. Be with us on Friday, July 27th. That'll be an 8:30 start from Olympic Stadium when the Bucks meet the Montreal Expos. Pirate baseball has been brought to you in part by Daily Juice Products, sponsors of Daly's favorite Pirate contest. Be sure to vote in Daly's favorite Pirate contest. And in part by Bell System Yellow Pages. Now, Yellow Pages shopping is twice as easy, twice as fast, because now there are 2 books instead of 1. Coverage of tonight's game produced by Doug Kennedy, directed by Mark Goldsmith. Production and technical facilities provided by TPC Pittsburgh. Studio director is Brad Risch. And so, as we've mentioned, this club with a 9-5 road trip comes home in good shape. We've got a half a season to go. We're going to start Thursday night in a doubleheader against the Houston Astros with Keeson, and he'll be going along with Blyleven to face it in that twin bill. So until we see you in person Thursday night, hopefully, this is Milo Hamilton along with Lanny Fratteri and Nelson Bryles saying so long, everybody, from Atlanta Stadium in Atlanta, where the Bucks knocked off the Braves 7-3. After station identification, stay tuned for President Carter's energy speech, which follows immediately. This is Pirate Baseball on TV2.
News off-trend has come to town with a taste from